Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having an excellent Wednesday, getting ready for this holiday that's coming up in 2 days. I should be sleeping right now. You probably should be too, but since we're all awake, let's have some fun together. What do you say? Yeah, I have family over already. My daughter came up last night, and so Little Butt and Peanut are here, and Pumpkin's going to be over tomorrow as the ladies do their cooking thing. They're going to be in the kitchen all day getting stuff ready. And then Thursday's the big meal. I'm not sure when my youngest son is coming up, but the whole family's going to be here. It's going to be a great time. Lots of fun. I believe we're playing Family Survivor again, which is a game I hate because I always get voted out first. The first year they just took Dad right out. And then since then it's become tradition to take out the cripple. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun for me. It's a lot more fun for me because then I just sit back and watch them all screw each other. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, my son tends to win this game. My middle son, he's a devious little shit. He plays everybody. It's interesting. Over on the Streamlabs, right before the show started, thank you, tall person, who said, hola, all, can't stay, but we'll catch later. Happy National Bavarian Cream Pie Day, everybody. I saw over on Wikipedia, I was over there. Don't ask why. But they have it's National Asian Month at Wikipedia. I don't know if it's actually National Asian Month, but for Wikipedia specifically. And you can enter to get a postcard from Asia. I'm like, what? I didn't know what to think about it. Are there a lot of people who are just running around going, damn, my life is pretty good, but it would be so much better with a postcard from Asia. A postcard? I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe it's not for me to get. Oh, it's amazing. Did you see CNN recently posted an article about their own damn poll and how it isn't good news for Trump? Yeah, I saw that, Dante, where it showed the public still mostly supports. 50% supports impeachment, only 43% against it. I'm like, that's odd. That's not where everybody else's polls are at, CNN. And they were asking earlier in chat if anybody sunbathed their buttholes today. I definitely did not. It's Michigan. It's a little cold out to even try that. Plus, I'm crippled, and I don't think I could get back up from that stance. If you don't know what that's about, you missed a whole 24-hour butthole extravaganza. I'll tell you guys something that's going to just shock you, you guys. We read a story last night on Lords of the Night that irritated me. It annoyed me, in fact. That never happens, does it? It fucking never happens. Usually, I read those things as a form of Zen relaxation. Oh man, I've talked about comedy before and how much I like it. How much it helped me get through hard times in my life. Specifically the death of my mom and my brother, which, by the way, guys, came 6 months apart when I was 14 years old. My mom died of leukemia and my older brother hung himself 6 months later. And it was a rough time. Dad started drinking real heavily, and it was just me and my little brother trying to make our way in the world with drunk dad kind of hanging on. And I turned to comedy, man. I really did. It was something I'd always used jokes and stuff to try to get through hard times and stuff. But that's when it's just like, I'm having a rough time. And I'd throw on a videotape I made. Videotape of stand-up comedians. And I'd watch it over and over and over again. It was the full 6 hours, half-hour chunks of different comedians. And I loved it. I had another tape that had several Rodney Dangerfield specials on it. It was great. And just sit back, relax, and laugh. I can watch comedians over and over, even if I've seen their show, if it's a good show. And I'll watch it and laugh every fucking time. I've seen Eddie Izzard's Dressed to Kill probably 50 times, and I laugh every fucking time. I can do that with most Ron White specials. Eddie Murphy, Pryor, of course, Carlin, of course. Lots of people that if they're funny, I can just watch them over and over again. And if I get in a funk, which does happen, guys, believe it or not, sometimes Monkey gets in a funk. I will turn on comedy and I'll just sit back and remember to laugh, because it's good. They say laughter is the best medicine, and it might not actually cure your ailment. But there's something to be said about feeling better. It'll make you feel better. And so when people start talking comedy, I listen, I read and see what they're saying. And the one we read tonight, oh dear Lord. Hi, Jack. How are you, my friend?
I'm okay. I'm fine. How are you?
So are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, choking a little bit there.
That was a good entrance, man.
Classy.
So you're just in time, Jack, for the stupid ass article.
Oh, cool.
I don't want to read the whole thing again. Maybe I'll just summarize it. How about that? Because it's a dumbass article, and if you guys want to read it, I will throw it into chat. But yeah, it bothers me when people start writing shit like this. Was that joke funny or offensive? Who's telling it matters? That's the name of this fucking retarded article. Shit, we're only 6 minutes in. God damn it. I dropped a fucking retard 6 minutes in. Well, 7 minutes now. Buy monetization. Hi, YouTube. You can click off this video now. Just check that box and move on to the next one. Oops. Live and learn, right? But I don't. You would think I would live and learn, but I don't. So here's the gist of the article, Jack. They wanted to see the joke is funny or offensive. And so they got this group together and showed them tweets, I think it was. Tweets of jokes. And some of the people, okay, first let's set up. Let's say they had a specific joke about black people, okay? They would tell half of the people that they were reading a joke written by a black person, and the other half that it was written by someone else. Most of the people who thought it was written by somebody else thought it was offensive rather than funny. The people who thought they were reading a joke from a black person about black people, well, they thought it was funny. They didn't see any offense to it. And they go on to describe that, this is our new reality kind of thing. And apparently they were shocked by this, which I don't understand. I thought everybody knew that's how things were these days.
Some people are slow.
Well, yeah, I guess. But here's the thing. They did the wrong test, Jack. They did the wrong test. What they should have done was just showed people the joke. Don't tell them anything about it. Just show them the joke. Is this offensive or not? Now, there should be a follow-up question. Did you think it was funny? Those are the two questions. Don't tell them anything about who wrote it, who may have posted it. Just, here's a joke. Do you think it was offensive? And did you still find it funny anyway?
See, your science needs decolonized.
I know, right? I'm apparently too interested in actual results. You know what I mean?
You and your science. You and your Western science.
They need to leave comedy alone, Jack. They need
to leave a lot of things alone. They're just incrementally destroying everything you care about so they can make you live in this Soviet dystopia.
Now, the only part of it that I will say that I saw on Joe Rogan. I forget who. I think it was Artie was on, or I forget who. But Joe asked him, do you think this is a bad time for comedy? He said, hell no, it's the best time for comedy because they put a taboo back in it. Which was a lot of what comedy was for many, many years, because it was that whole Puritan Christian taboo we had going on.
Yeah.
And they've kind of brought that back. They've kind of brought it back.
Yeah, they brought it back in a weird way. But yeah, I mean, comedians have to be willing to risk something.
Yes, and a lot of them aren't. There's a channel. What the hell is the name of that channel? Hang on. I need to find it. It's that the comedian I shared yesterday who was actually funny, not the three girls.
Oh yeah, Leo Kersey.
Yeah, and he was on a channel. What the hell's the name of that channel? Damn it. I got to get to my history so I can find it again. Dear Christ, what all did I watch today? I didn't watch all this shit, did I? Oh, yeah. It's called Comedy Unleashed is the name of the channel. And you guys should check it out. For the record, it is both. They do a lot of conservative comedy over there because they really do let these guys say whatever the fuck they want to. And several of the comedians make jokes about how it's weird to actually be allowed to be funny.
Yeah.
But they do a bunch of comedy. There's some liberal comedy over there too, for those of you who want to watch that kind of shit. And it's great. It's a great channel. It's sad to me though that to find great comedy, you have to look for a basement comedy club on YouTube. I mean, it's great. However, as much fun as it is to put the taboo back into comedy, it's different now than it used to be. You might used to have people come out and say, oh, you're a misogynist, you're a sexist, you're a racist. But they wouldn't ruin you everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they wouldn't try and shame your grocery store into banning you.
Yeah. Nowadays it's like, oh, hey, you laughed at that guy. You're racist just like he is. And this came from the whole PC bullshit of if you laugh at a racist joke, therefore you're racist.
Yeah. Well, they got it in their head, and now they want to give you a scarlet letter so that people will ostracize you from social life.
I would like to see their little test redone and just take a joke about black people. Don't even steal one of Richard Pryor's old jokes. So it's written by a black guy. It was, and show it to 120-year-old black people and see if they find it offensive. I would love to see that experiment done. I would love to know what the result was of that. Don't tell them who wrote it. Just find out, is this joke offensive or is it funny? And then ask another 100 the same thing, but tell them it's a Richard Pryor joke and see what happens. We've so ingrained offense in our society that it's actually it's sickening.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to get worse too. These people want you to kill yourself if they've just deemed you unworthy, because they want to destroy your life, your livelihood, your ability to do anything. And they're successfully doing it. Chase Bank closed people's credit cards or bank accounts.
Their whole bank account. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And Stripe will prevent you from doing credit card transactions. MasterCard and Visa are getting in on this crap too. Patreon.
Yeah, MasterCard and Visa, or I think it was MasterCard, was linked to the whole Patreon thing when that first blew up.
Would not surprise me at all. But yeah, if they can keep you from processing money, you're effectively going to be ruined financially. So you're going to be homeless real fast unless you start committing a lot of crime.
And that's why I say, I mean, as much as it's fun to bring back the taboo, the way they brought it back is scary.
Oh, it's terrifying. This is some Stasi shit.
Now, there is something there though that you said a moment ago that I want to touch on. But thank you, Terry Diamandis. Laughter is the best medicine. That's why you should always laugh at cripples. Indeed, it'll make you feel better about not being one.
Yeah,
and trust me, you should feel better about not being one. I don't remember if I talked about it, if you were here when I talked about it, but I read an article about some people who've experienced the whole cancel culture thing firsthand. People who got canceled for various different reasons across the political spectrum. And you know what it ended up doing, Jack? It ended up bringing them together as a community. There's not actually a cancel community out there. There's actually people who will coach you on how to deal with being canceled. This is a thing now.
Well, I guess they're creating jobs after all.
The funny part is, for most of them, they say they didn't really experience any problem. Nothing they couldn't overcome. It's not like that chick, the one who made the joke about getting AIDS because she was going to Africa and then going, just kidding, I'm white.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Which,
by the way, offensive as shit, but it was funny.
The joke she was making is not the joke everybody thought she made. That's the funny part of that story.
Yeah.
Okay, so those of you who don't know, this liberal writer is on her way to Africa, and she tweets out, "On my way to Africa, I hope I don't get AIDS. Just kidding, I'm white." Now, what she meant to be doing was making a joke about white people who don't think they can get AIDS. Instead, the way it reads is as a very, very racist joke.
That's why it's funny, dude.
It is. But what she actually meant, and if you know anything about her, and if you go through her history and stuff, yeah, there's no fucking way in hell she meant it the way everybody took it. But by the time her plane landed, guys, she was canceled. Just can't. Her Twitter was blowed the fuck up. Her friends and family were reaching out to see if she was okay. This woman ended up having to leave her job, move to the other side of the country, and lay low because people wouldn't leave her the fuck alone about a joke she didn't even mean to make.
Yep.
They just fucking ruined her. Now, for most people, it's not that bad. For most people, they get a whole ton of Twitter shit and it lasts for like a day or so and then it goes away. But if you watched, it's not just a little bit of shit. I mean, and you get some of these zealots who will hang on for weeks and comment on everything you ever say again. She didn't leave her job. She was outright fired. She was fired, but if I remember correctly, she'd picked up another job there, or maybe she couldn't get another job there. That's why she moved across the country. But yeah, sorry, she was fired. She was fired before she landed, I believe.
Yeah.
If I remember correct, that was part of the story. But for the most part, here's the thing. If you make a joke like that, or not like hers, because hers was a special case. Hers was a holy crap, they came out with a vengeance. But most of the cancel culture that goes on, make fun of them. Ignore it or make fun of them. And then just get on with your life. And you know what? They'll eventually go away and the mob moves on to the next group. That's what happened. Because they're not dedicated. They're not dedicated. All they want to do is hate. They don't care who they're hating on. It's just, we need to get that mob together and go lynch this person. And then we'll go back. We'll have Sunday dinner and wait for the next person to lynch.
Yeah, these are unhappy people that are looking to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
And they're not brave enough to do it in real life, so they'll hurt you online. And they will pursue you for a long time if you continue to give them, any kind of attention whatsoever.
Jeremy says, Monkey watches The Hard Bastard sometimes. I can say with 100% certainty, the most I've ever seen of Hard Bastard is maybe 2 minutes. And that was just because it was a video he had done with Aiden Paladin. And I was like, who are these folks? I was like, oh, yeah, that's boring as fuck. And I went about my business. So, no, I do not watch Hard Bastard.
Yeah, I don't watch them either.
The outcome of that article, or at least what I got out of it, and what apparently a lot of the people who've been through this outrage thing is not to panic and just go about your life. Yeah, you see a lot of people who say something stupid and then they'll lock down their account. That's probably the smart way to do it. Just lock down your account for 48 hours and then unlock it and go about your day. The smarter way is just to ignore it. Leave your account open so they can get their anger out. Don't read any of it. That's where people make the mistake. They read it and then take it personal.
Yeah, you have to learn to separate from it and just be ready to walk away and do something else.
The other thing you can do is turn it into a positive, man. Just go out there. Look, somebody gets offended at a joke you made and suddenly 100,000 people are telling you how horrible you are for that joke. You know what you do? Tell another joke. Because you now have their attention for a moment. And that's how you get more attention. And there you go. Now, I will say, if you're not the kind of person like me who enjoys attention, maybe that's not the right way to go. You know who doesn't enjoy attention, Jack? Rasmussen Poles.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Those fucking assholes. I'm sorry. I know I've talked about this twice now, but they blocked me. I got blocked by a polling company.
Well, I guess they don't want your opinion.
Apparently not. They sure as fuck didn't seem to care for it. It's not my fault they're racist. And yes, Rasmussen, where before I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, now I'm saying it. I believe you're racist. There you go. Suck it. Not that they're listening anyway, but it makes me feel better to say it out loud, Jack. But yeah, I hate the notion that it's okay to tell an Asian joke because you're Asian. You know the thing I would say with YouTube, it's okay because Cryptic's Asian. That's not something we should have to say.
No, it's not. It's stupid.
Either
but people are such hypersensitive intersectional crybabies.
Either a joke's funny or it's not. How many times? I mean, look, there's been jokes, even you and me, look, if you can get to where me and Jack are going, oh fuck, you probably said something horrible.
Yeah, it takes a lot,
right? But even then, it's like, okay, it's still funny. It's like offense is a job now, man. It's a fucking career path.
It's a badge of honor to these people. We've trained people that they are special by the level of offense they are at, and they are so paper thin. It's sad.
Monkey, why do you act like a bitch from time to time? Well, your mom likes to role play. I'm sorry. Why do they set me up like this, Jack?
I don't know. It's too easy.
I have 101 ways to make everything about your mom, guys. I really do. Because, I mean, you might have heard me say that. I grew up in a black neighborhood. You had to know how to joke about people's moms, man. That's all we did. That's all we did. My mom heard me and my brothers joking with each other about, your mama. And she's like, you realize you're talking about me, right? Like, Mom, no, we're not. It's not really you. Yeah, she ought to. Snaps, actually, before it was called Snaps, it was called Playing the Dozens. You want to play the Dozens? Well, the Dozens is a game, but the way I fucked your mother is a goddamn shame. That's an oldie but goodie. That's one George Carlin even told on stage once, I believe. Yeah, man, people have been playing the Dozens since, God, the 60s, the 50s, something like that. Your mom was so fat she couldn't even jump to conclusions. That's awesome. My favorite was always she sat on a rainbow and Skittles popped out. I don't know why that one makes me laugh so hard. Oh, wanking in the shower is funny, but apparently it's looked down on in Auschwitz. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's horrible. Yeah, but see, funny. Horrible, but funny. Oh. I just spent the last probably hour looking up the people from the group Pentatonics.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Stalking that little Latina chick.
She's Asian, or she's Mexican. Yeah, Mexican, Asian, and Spanish. It's a weird combination she's got going on there.
Yeah, that's busy.
Yeah, her dad is Mexican. Her mom is Spanish and Italian, I think it is, actually. But no, I wasn't actually. I was looking because I knew the one guy had left the group.
Yeah.
And he was my favorite. I enjoyed his voice the most. So I was trying to find out what has become of him. And it turns out he's gone on to a solo career.
Yeah, he's got his own YouTube channel.
He does. And I was checking it out. And he's got this one song on there. I forget the name of it.
Change on the Rise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I listened. I was like, this should be in a video game or in a show or a movie. Oh, man, this song is fucking amazing. That should
be in movie trailers. That is a catchy fucking song.
Oh, and his voice with it is just booming.
Yeah.
Because some of the other ones are, I mean, there's one where he's singing like an old redneck hillbilly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like some bluegrass or something.
Yeah. And I didn't realize he could make his voice sound like that. But the one where changes on the right, that, holy fuck, man, it's just booming.
Yeah, that's it's a very cool video. He looks like Rasputin in there, but
he does. It's funny because he's Jewish and he's got the long hair and he's growing out the beard. I'm like, are you trying to look like Jesus?
Right.
But yeah, you're right. He comes off more like Rasputin. Yeah, no, if seriously, it's great music. And this is just a random thing I'm throwing at Jack. And you make me feel better about myself that you even knew the name of the song.
Oh yeah, I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel. Let's just do the link to the video in there.
I am now. No, he was always my favorite, and I knew he had left. And then it's one of those things that I found out about, and I found out he was leaving at the time, and it just left my mind. But it's Christmas time, and my favorite Christmas song right now, and has been for the last several years, is their version of Little Drummer Boy. I fucking love that song. I will play it on repeat for hours. It is just so well put together. And like, oh, I wonder what happened to him. So, yeah, so I went and looked it up. That's actually what I was looking up. And so then I was like, I'll go through all of them. And then I didn't realize the other two white guys in the group, well, the one's white, and I don't know what the other guy is. They used to have a channel called, what the hell was it? Super something. It's still out there, but it was just their channel. And I didn't realize they were both not just gay, but flamingly gay. Like the most stereotypical gay you could imagine. They used to do Q&As and stuff. They actually had a pretty popular channel before they, joined up, did the whole pentatonics thing. Pentatonics. I always say it so fast that it comes out wrong. I don't care. Y'all will be fine. Anyway. So I went and watched that. I'm like, this is actually kind of a pretty good channel. But oh my God, they're so flamingly gay. My wife would love this channel. Lady Monkey loves gay channels. I don't know why.
She loves your hair.
Oh, I got in trouble yesterday, Jack.
What you do now?
I go out into the living room, and Lady Monkey she's getting ready for bed, and she usually goes out and she watches some YouTube on her computer. And I go out there and I'm rolling my cigarettes for the night. Allegedly YouTube. I don't smoke on this channel. And there's a video playing, and I'm like, oh God. So I look over, and it's this woman talking, and she's lighting a fire. Now, if you guys know this channel, please don't link it out there. I'm not trying to make fun of. I didn't mean to do what I did, Jack.
Oh no.
So there's this cute young thing on the channel, and then they show this dude who looks like Stephen Hawking's little brother.
Uh-oh. Well, this is going to be funny right away. I can tell,
well,
but not in a nice way.
I asked Lady Monkey, I said, is that her son? And she goes, no, that's her husband. And I lost my shit. I'm like, I just started laughing. And she goes, what? I'm like, okay. I'm like, no, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. And she goes, no, what's so funny? I'm like, okay. That cute young thing married him. So either he's rich or she really wanted to be YouTube famous.
Yeah.
And apparently that was the wrong thing to say about these people because they're just so nice.
No, that's how you get lesbian cliff divers. Do you remember that story? I had to explain that one to, I think it was Polly about a week ago. Lesbian cliff divers. Yeah, the lesbians drove their special needs kids off the cliff.
Nice. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Lesbian cliff divers. That's how you get them.
I didn't mean to laugh because it's nothing funny about this guy's situation. I mean, he's bad off, his body is just
It's awful, but you don't really expect some moderately attractive woman to be with him.
And look, good for him. He gets to see that naked and I don't know, ram his electric wheelchair into it or something. But it was just I couldn't. It was very much the same as when I walked past the midgets playing soccer. I couldn't help it. I just assumed that because she was pretending to care about the guy that it was her kid. So, no, that's her husband. And they may actually only be fiancés. Don't quote me on. I know they're either getting married or are married. They just bought a house together. And yeah, it's like, I'm sure they just had so much in common.
Yo, mama's so fat, the sorting hat put her in the Waffle House. I'm gonna steal that one. That's funny.
He gets to kinky talk with his text to speech. No, this guy actually could talk though. So,
oh god, that had to be horrifying.
A little better off than Stephen Hawking.
You would have to be.
Well, the weird thing. Okay, now I'm gonna get in trouble for real. This guy's head just did not seem right for his body. It was like way too big. And I'm not making fun of people like that. I'm not, but there's certain things you see and it's just like, that doesn't look right. And he's probably a great person.
Yeah.
He's probably wonderful.
Let me help you out here, Monkey. He wasn't Elephant Man hideous.
Right.
And John Merrick was said to be a really nice guy. So lots to be said for that.
I'm just like, okay, how did y'all hook up? I got to hear the story. I didn't hear it yet. And one day maybe I'll go look, but like something seems wrong about this relationship.
Yeah.
I'm just, yeah. Just one of those things that happens, Jack.
Yeah. I mean, well, you were caught off guard and you see something out of the ordinary that strikes your fancy and you're like, tee. And some people are just, easily offended.
Well, Lady Monkey knows me, and so she wasn't too mad at me for what I did or how she just gave me that judging look. She didn't yell at me or anything like has happened in the past from time to time. I said that one day we're sitting in the parking lot waiting to go into work, and because we both worked where I got hurt is where she still works. We were waiting to go into the building. And I see this guy walking through the parking lot. It's like 95 degrees outside, and he's wearing a little knit cap. And I like, why the fuck is this guy wearing a knit cap? And Lady Mother, shh, stop it. He's a really nice guy. I work with him. Like, I didn't say he's not a nice guy. I want to know why he's wearing a fucking knit cap in 90-degree weather.
Was it Tim Pool?
It wasn't Tim Pool, but maybe he has a bald spot. I don't know.
Assassin just came up with that one too.
Oh, yeah.
Great minds.
Do you remember when people only wore knit caps when it was cold?
Yeah, yeah.
Or when they were robbing a bank?
Well, yeah, that's a given. But yeah, that was called the 80s. Because that shit caught on in the 90s, the grunge movement.
You ever watch the show Two Broke Girls? I think is the name of it.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of dumb.
I enjoyed the show, but there's a great part at the beginning of one where there's some guys who come sit down at one of the tables and they rudely try to get the brunette with the big titties her attention, and she comes over and drags them. And one of the great things she says is, "I wear a knit cap because it's cold outside. You wear a knit cap because of cold play." I was like, oh. And they all like just kind of slowly pull it off their heads.
Yeah.
That fad is faded, guys. It's been over for like a decade. Let it go. Stop wearing that shit when it's warm out. When it's cold, by all means, have one on, but stop it.
Tim Pool looks like an egg grew a beard.
Have you ever seen him without the hat on?
Yeah, he's got an unfortunately round head.
Oh, you know what? But here's the thing. You know what you can do, Tim? The rest of the year, get a ball cap. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
That's how bald men used to do it.
That's how bald men still do it, I promise you.
And if you want to look like you're young and youthful, turn it around. Wear it backwards. John Migda, thank you. Knit cap is nice for hiding headphones.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, most bald guys just wear baseball hats because it's easier and your head gets cold or sunburned depending on the weather. So you adapt accordingly. But in the summer, knit caps, that's dumb. You're going to sweat. It's going to smell really gross.
Yes, exactly. And thank you, John, for the donation there. No, I get in trouble a lot of times like that, Jack. It's just something I'll see, and I cannot keep my mouth closed. I try, like out there, I just started laughing, and she pushed me. Otherwise, I would have kept my mouth closed. But most of the time, and I'm a blurter.
Yeah.
Shit just comes out, which is probably one of the reasons I'm so against them making comedy offensive. Because shit makes me laugh sometimes. Speaking of making me laugh, Onision lost his Patreon.
I saw the video. That was just a weirdo.
That video was telling. It was very telling, actually, because if you watch it, okay, so Onision lost his Patreon, you guys, and he makes I think it's like a 2-minute video, minute and a half, something like that, where he pretends to be crazy, and he's trying to do a Joker impression, as though he doesn't really care. Doesn't really care, you guys. It's just money. But deep down, he really cares.
I think the first 30 seconds of that video are the more honest part.
Yes.
Because he is actually legitimately pissed, and then he tries to play it off.
Yeah. And if you've ever seen any of his videos where he was whining about money, he started doing this. Was it the second Adpocalypse? The third? I can't remember. 8 months ago or so, if you go back to his page. Probably the last time I paid any real attention to the little shit. He had these videos up whining that he was going to have to sell his house, Jack. And when you hear that, it's like, oh, fuck, man, you're going to have to sell your house. No.
Second house.
His second house. The one he doesn't live in.
Yeah.
Doesn't
he have like 3 cars or something?
Yep. Did. But yeah, he's very concerned about money. And at that time, he was actually telling people, donate to my Patreon, donate to my Patreon. And he had grown his Patreon quite well. So this is a huge hit for him. And look, I'm not normally supportive of this kind of shit, but this dude's a shitbag. He's a shitbag person. This is a guy who took a girl across state lines to have sex with her, which, by the way, is illegal. That's illegal. You can't take somebody across state lines because it's legal to have sex with them in that state. That is a felony in your own state. And this is something he's admitted to. It's not conjecture that he did this. We know he did this. But nobody involved has actually complained. So, oh well.
Well, this other girl that was threatening to sue him or whatever, that's why he lost his Patreon, was he tried to dox her.
Well, yeah, he ended up doxing, was it Billy? He put out her phone number, dumbass.
Yeah.
He was sharing screenshots of their text, which Twitter says is okay. But then in one of the shots, he had her unlisted phone number, and they're like, nope, that's not okay. And that's what Patreon also jumped on.
Somebody probably reported it, but I don't care. I think it's my opinion. The guy's a narcissist with psychopathy really badly. I'm pretty sure this is the type of dude that would kill people if he thought he could get away with it.
We've seen the videos of how he treats people, like the chick who was having the mental breakdown when the one, isn't it the one he's with now that he filmed having a seizure? Now there's a lot of people, you should have called the paramedics. You don't always have to call the paramedics when somebody's having a seizure. I used to have a girlfriend who had seizures. She was an epileptic. And then she lied to her doctors and got a driver's license and drove through a plate glass window when she had a seizure driving.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. Because if you're an epileptic, you have to go, I think it's like 2 years without a seizure.
Yeah.
And she lied about it. And yeah, she had a seizure driving and went through the plate glass window of an auto repair shop. Jeez. Luckily, nobody was hurt. That's why I can laugh about it. She didn't kill anyone, luckily.
Well, I don't think that somebody like Onision has any empathy. I think he's a psycho. A sociopath with narcissistic personality disorder. But that's just my opinion.
I definitely think he's a sociopath. The way he can just cut people out of his life and the way he can treat people and share everybody's intimate details. And you know, Howard Stern, his ex-wife, his first wife, gave him a lot of shit because he shared too much. But he was doing it as part of trying to deal with stuff himself. Like when his wife had a miscarriage, that was a big problem in their marriage. Mm-hmm. He still cares about his wife and his daughters. You can hear it when he talks. When Onision talks and he, shares everything from his life, there's no love in it. There's no, this is just, how my life was going. I was trying to do. No. It's to shame people. It's to shame people he thinks wronged him.
Yeah. It's always about him.
Yeah. Everything's about him. Yeah, he's a manipulator, and he's done this to younger. The one that everybody's lost all their shit over is this girl that they became foster parents to. They became foster parents to this girl, and then when she turned 18, fucked her.
Yeah, when she turned 18. Right. Let's go with that.
Well, even she says it was after she turned 18. So I'm going with her words, not his, because I don't trust the fuck thing that guy says. Even though I still take credit. I still take credit for him stopping wearing makeup for videos for a while.
Yeah, that was funny.
Because I'm the most honest man on the internet. And I asked him, then why do you wear makeup? And then for like 3 videos, he didn't. And then he saw how bad he looks and he started wearing makeup again. Because he looks horrible without his makeup, you guys. He looks bad. He looks bad. Brad Pitt horrible without makeup. You ever see Brad without his makeup on?
Yeah.
Brad Pitt actually has it written into his contracts that he can only be really shot from one side. And you'll notice he almost always has his face kind of turned. He has really bad pitting in his face from when he had acne as a teen. And there's actually, I forget what TV show it was on that he was on. Was it... I forget, the Keatons or one of those kind of shows. He played a boyfriend at one time. Maybe it was the one with Kirk Cameron. I can't remember. Anyway, and he doesn't have his makeup on. You can just see the bumps on his face. It's not his fault, No. But with Onision, is like, I'm the most honest person. I say all the honest stuff all the time. Why you wearing makeup, bitch? Why you lying about what you look like? And he stopped wearing makeup. It's like, oh, that's why. Yeah, he cakes that shit on thick. He probably wears more makeup than James Charles.
Probably.
That's just to cake it on to cover all those acne scars and rosacea he says he has.
And it's because he's got narcissism, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Look, there's nothing wrong with doing it, but don't come out there. I'm the most honest person. Go fuck yourself. You're a douchebag who lies and manipulates people.
Yeah.
And
when bad things happen to people like that, I really don't feel bad. I'm sorry.
Okay, so they fostered this girl when she was like 16 or something like that. So she was, a little bit older. It's not like they fostered her when she was 10. But even then, if you tell me 5 years later, a relationship developed because, you're adults now. Okay, maybe. But days after she turned 18, you grooming motherfucker.
Yeah.
You disgusting shitbag. 15, is that how old she was? Yeah. So, yeah. Fuck that guy. And I don't for a moment actually believe he accidentally released her phone number.
No, he totally did that on purpose. So we can.
That's the kind of, he's a punishing person.
Yeah.
He's a punisher. Oh well. So he lost it. It's going to be weird to see what happens to him. You guys know I love my drama, so I will probably be paying attention to him again, probably for the next 2 weeks or so, to see what happens. Because Greggy Poo is one of those YouTubers. Guys, I want to talk to you about YouTube or any job you have. Onision's one of those people who made money and spent it all. He didn't save a dime because he's like, oh, the money's always going to come. He didn't save a dime. We're not talking like money I make, where I can make my bills each month kind of money. No. He he was making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars at one point a year. Tons of money coming to this kid. And he spent it all. He went out and bought 2 houses and 3 cars and flew people to his house and just started living large. Don't do that. That's just, don't do that. I see people, who was it? Oh, it was Onision. It was Onision. It's on a video today because somebody said, well, they still have the money that's coming in from Kai. Kai's his husband. I'm rolling my eyes really hard right now. There was a video of them, and he said, you know, the more money you make, the more that goes out. Like, well, no, it doesn't have to be that way. Well, once you have your, you know, your car and a house and you can make your bills, that's when you start saving, Greggy Poo. You don't have to start spending it all. We have a real problem in this country, Jack, with not teaching kids simple economics.
Yeah.
Simple home economics. Well, it's smart to buy one house, but start spending like that. Dax, you're right. You're right. There's nothing wrong with buying a house. There's nothing wrong with buying a car. But there's a lot of those YouTubers from the early days who made a lot. You guys have no idea how much money they were making. Seriously, like serious money. Once when the ad stuff first started, they were throwing buckets of money at these people, all the way up until the first adpocalypse, and that's when they went no. And there's still some of them they're throwing buckets of money at, but a lot of those people from that time, it's very much like a sports star. You see these guys go into the NFL and make millions of dollars, and 2 years after they retire, they're sucking dick to try to get money for ramen.
Yep, they're flat fucking broke because they have no financial sense.
None.
If you start getting big at anything, whether it's your job or YouTube or whatever, talk to a financial advisor.
Yeah.
About investing some of that money and stashing some of it. You should be saving as much as you can.
Crimgate says, I know,
save money.
Crimgate says, I know I have bad spending habits and my boyfriend yells at me for it, but I'm trying to change that. Try to change it because you need to. Live below your means.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, like start saving your change and cash it in slowly into a bank account, not a Coinstar. You know, something. Start somewhere. Use coupons. You know, little things can make a big difference for normal people.
Yeah. I've talked about Dave Ramsey before because I'm a big fan of his advice. I don't know necessarily about his investing advice. I don't really listen to that because I'm not an investor. But his advice for life and how you should save. And he has a saying that I really love. He says, live now like nobody else, so later you can live like nobody else. And what he's talking about there is live poor right now. Live poor. He tells people never go out and buy a brand new car because people, you know, they get a raise at work. I'm going to get a brand new car. Don't do that. And he had this thing, Jack, where people started sending him pictures of the shit car they bought to show him how much they're trying to save money. And he's like, don't get a clunker you're going to have to, you know, replace every 2 months.
No,
you know,
get like a little reliable, like a Honda or Kia or something instead of your sports car.
But something that you can pay off now.
Yeah. Something reliable and safe that's not sexy.
Not going to put you in debt. You're not going to end up paying the bank for it. Like if you have $500, you can actually find a decent $500 car. You've always been able to do that. Maybe not as decent these days as you used to. But I mean, there's so many cars out there. Eventually you can find something or save up for a little bit longer, you know? And his idea is always don't put yourself in debt. The only debt that he really even approves of is a mortgage, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, not an adjustable rate mortgage. That's a terrible idea. A fixed
not
rate.
Adjustable. Yeah, fixed rate, you know, 20, 30 year, preferably 20 because it's a lot cheaper in the long run. But yeah, don't spend all of your money. Don't make it so you are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, it's different if you're just starting out and you're living paycheck to paycheck. That might be all you can do. But when you get that first raise, don't be like, cool, now I can, instead of ramen, I can buy the expensive ramen. You know what I mean? we don't give kids that information anymore. Or I don't know if they ever did, but kids don't seem to learn it. Nope says, yeah, watching Dave Ramsey completely changed my outlook on finances. Not sure if my other super chat sent. Weird things happen. I didn't get one. Nope. But thank you so much for the donation. Yeah, Dave Ramsey's great. I think he should be it wouldn't even have to be a long course. One day in high school, kids listen to just how he this is a good idea on how you should financially plan when you're starting out. Beautiful. Done. But yeah, YouTube had a big problem with that, with a lot of people who, man, they threw buckets of money at him and they just spent it all.
Oh yeah.
Went out and bought big old houses in Los Angeles, man. You know how expensive it is to live in LA? Dear fuck, man. But yeah, off topic here. I know I'm kind of meandering tonight because I'm really tired, Jack. I should be sleeping.
Nah, sleep. You know my thought on sleep.
I know, yeah, for the week.
No, it's weakness entering your body.
Right. Okay, same thing.
It'll make you weak.
Bought me a Tesla, yo. Cool. I heard a weird thing about Teslas, that they're really hard to resell because they're put in the name of whoever buys them, and Tesla won't change it for you. So they actually have to be lock broken, like a jailbroken, like an iPhone.
Huh.
Yeah. And because there's this guy who, like, if Teslas get destroyed, one gets rear-ended, the other one gets hit in the front, he'll rebuild a car, and he can't get Tesla to approve them. So they have to jailbreak all the electronics on it to make it fucking work.
Oh, that sucks. What a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Elon might be smart, but he does some really stupid shit.
Well,
are we talking? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say a lot of really smart people are like that. Like they're good visionaries, but little things kind of escape them.
Jeremy says, are we talking about Boogie now? Not necessarily, but yes. I mean, he definitely qualifies.
Yeah, his wife took a bunch of his money too.
On a Tangent is better than Ranting Monkey singing Happy Birthday. I don't know who that is. What's On a Tangent?
No, it says Ranting Monkey on a Tangent is better than Ranting Monkey singing Happy Birthday.
I do get on a tangent from time to time. Yeah, Boogie, he's another one, man. He made lots of money through YouTube. He really did.
Yeah, that dude was set for life. He's an idiot.
We call people cheap and tightwads if they don't go out and they're spending money. You don't have to.
No, I mean, look, if you're like saving the plasticware from McDonald's when you're a multimillionaire, then you're a tightwad. But, there's a difference between common sense and irresponsibility. And a lot of these guys are just irresponsible with money. And like I said, if you start getting successful, talk to a financial advisor. It's the best $200 you're ever going to spend.
I heard recently Boogie had an incident with a truck. I haven't paid attention to Boogie in a couple of months.
He ate a truck?
Last time I really paid attention to Boogie, he was still on his Tesla thing. Where, man, he made a mistake with that. That was where he told everybody he had the money to buy a Tesla, and then he bought one, and he's like, I don't have the money for this. And people were like, yeah. And his fans were like, then why the fuck did you buy it? And he was like, hey, I need help. I need help because of this Tesla. To get this Tesla's how he started saying it. I don't remember if it was ever proven true that he'd actually already gotten it, but yeah.
That's some Philip DeFranco type shilling there.
You sure it's wise to preach financial responsibility to people who spend their money making you read things out loud? Yes, because you can still have some fun.
Yeah.
Look,
we're providing entertainment. I mean, if you'd gone to a movie, it would have cost you $20, and here we are doing it for free.
And I've always said this: do not give me the last of your money.
Oh, absolutely not. If you got a couple extra bucks, awesome. But if not, no big deal.
Right. I mean, we are brought to you by you guys. Thank you for reminding me of that, Terry. But yeah, I never want anybody's last money. Fuck no. Sounds more like DSP or Wings of Redemption. It's so many people, Red. It's so many people.
Yeah, it's a long list. And it's sad, too, because they used to teach basic finances and how to save money. And sometimes people just get a little overzealous with their spending.
Well, especially if you grew up without having anything and then suddenly you get some money. Oh, man. Look, I was there. I grew up poor as shit. So when I started making some money on my own, I did some stupid shit.
Oh, we all did.
Took me a while to crawl out of it. Lisa says, absolutely right. Give me the last of your money. Such a woman thing to say. Such a woman thing to say. Give me the last.
You call this shit entertainment? Yes, I do.
I have no concept of extra money. I've been there, Faithless. I'm right there now. Yeah, I got to call the guy tomorrow and tell like, look, dude, I'm gonna have to put this off until the first of the year because I need December to save up too because it came in way more than we thought it was, and we'll be able to make it. But yeah, it's got to be pushed off because I still need to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I need it done. But again, he wasn't brought in because the heater itself isn't working. So we still have heat. I just have to keep a close eye on it because what's happening, Jack, it's the boiler. It's got 3 separate water lines that go through it.
Mm-hmm.
One comes downstairs and there's 2 that go upstairs. And the one that goes to the living room is like the last loop in the chain. So when the water pressure gets low, that one will run out. The water won't get up there. And what'll happen is eventually it'll drop low enough that there's a pump that helps push the water. And if the water gets lower than that pump, it'll still shoot some out, but it's not enough to keep the pump cool. And it'll burn up the pump. And I know this because that happened to us once.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how when this happened, I knew exactly what was wrong. There's an air tank that goes with it, and you knock on it, and it should sound hollow because it's got an air bladder in there that helps push the water.
Yeah,
and you knock on it, and just thud. Oh fuck, the bladder's broken. So I had them come in and look at it, and he looked at everything. He's like, yeah, this whole thing is bad. Like, God damn it! It's like when you take your car in because you know. It needs an oil change and like, yeah, we're going to have to replace the engine. Like, fuck. We had that happen with our Escort we had. Took it in because it needed an oil change. And they're like, there's oil leaking down your engine. Like, what? And he showed me, yeah, there was the head was cracked. I'm like, oh, beautiful. So, yeah, we had an old Escort with a new engine in it.
Wow.
Yeah. Luckily, I mean, it wasn't that expensive, luckily. I had a 97 Escort, wish I never sold it. Our Escort was great, man. It wasn't the old Chevette looking ones. It was once they made a 4-door and had a trunk and everything in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great for our family, but we outgrew it because we had a 3rd kid.
Strap them to the roof.
Yeah, there's no room for that 3rd kid in that kind of car. It was a great car, though. I love that car. Very reliable, too, until the engine thing. And you want to talk about gas lasting forever. Fill that fucker up and use it for the month. Cheap Escorts, fun time. Now, on the other side, my brother once had, and I know because I had to borrow his car for a while. He had the hatchback one. And I had to learn to drive stick because it was a stick and I couldn't drive one. And our car was down for something. And for some reason, he let me use his for a while. And when you got in this thing, Jack, it was really weird because you're in an Escort, right?
Yeah.
But the way the seat sat and the wheel was up, you felt like a pimp in this motherfucker.
Yeah. You just had those bucket seats.
Yeah, you just felt like you were pimping in a Ford Escort hatchback. Snubber, thank you. Having a third kid and paying for an escort. That's escort. Yeah, paying for. Yeah, I get the joke there. Thank you so much for the donation. Yeah, that's when we moved to minivan. Once we had the third kid, it was just. It's like, okay, we got to do something because the kids don't fit. You know how hard it is to get a baby in and out of a car anyway?
Yeah.
It's just so much easier in a minivan. Especially nowadays, man. I could live in my minivan if I had to.
Ah, minivans are great. I had one for a while.
I love mine. And our last two, we didn't buy. They were both gifts from my father-in-law. He decided, my father-in-law is actually quite wealthy. And they came up one time and they were like, we're going to get a new one. You want this one? I do. Because it was nicer than anything I could afford. And then this one we have now, my wife's grandma, she bought a new car every 2 years. And when she passed away, she had a brand new car sitting in her garage, and her dad didn't want it. So it's my wife and her sister. Those are the kids in the family. And he goes, you guys go out there and decide who gets the car. And our van was running pretty well. And my sister-in-law, her car was shit. So my wife's like, you can have it. You take it. So they come back in and tell my father-in-law, yeah, she's going to take it. And my father-in-law goes, okay, you get my van. And this is a van that they had less than a year.
Wow.
Yeah, there's one thing with it, and I don't remember what it is. But my father-in-law, when they bought it, there was one feature he wanted missing. So he just went and got a new one and gave this one to us. I'm like, thank you. So yeah, we've been very, very fortunate to have him do that for us. Because otherwise, I'd still be driving an Escort.
Evil One tells us that it's George Mason's birthday.
George Mason, happy birthday. Around here, I got to kind of keep it down because there's my daughter's right above me sleeping. Is she in that room? Yeah, she's in that room. So I can't sing real loud, but this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Shabab, shabab.
Happy birthday to you.
Shabab.
Happy birthday, dear George Mason. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, George. I hope you have a great one. I really do. John Migda said, really look into baseboard electric heat, like Hammer said. Again, I would have to, the things I would have to do to make that work. Because all of these heaters that are up right now, they throughout the entire house would have to come out, which would mean cutting all of the copper pipe that comes up completely out. And yeah, and electric heat. I don't know where Hammer lives. Electric heat where I live would probably increase my heat bill every month by about $200, which I really can't do. And Terry says, sing loud, your daughter will understand. My daughter has a 5-week-old baby up there with her. I'm not waking up that baby and pissing off mama. I raised that girl. I know how she is. I raised my daughter to be a bitch, Jack.
Well, yeah, that's okay.
She is exactly how I wanted her to turn out.
Now, do you think tomorrow she'll be like, I had this real weird dream that you were singing happy birthday to?
No,
like, odd.
They sometimes listen to the show. My kids will occasionally turn on the show just so the grandkids can hear my voice. They don't do it anymore for a little bit because she can tell what I'm saying now. Like, I got a text from Pumpkin's mom the other day that they turned on the stream just so she could hear my voice, and she just lit right up. So, Yeah.
And then she was like, and you guys are disturbingly offensive.
Yeah. I haven't seen, I saw her yesterday briefly. I saw her for maybe a minute. She came in when I was doing the after show yesterday. Well, maybe the day before now. And that's the first time I've seen her in like 2 weeks. But they're coming over tomorrow, so I'll have all 3 granddaughters here.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait. Tell your daughter what's more important, your baby or George Mason's birthday. I don't want to die in my sleep. Seriously, I love my daughter, but she's very sweet and kind and caring. But the women in this family, there's one thing you do not do. You do not wake them up. If this house was on fire, I would not wake up my wife or daughter until I absolutely had to. I'd be like, oh man, those flames are getting close. They're getting close, but I ain't waking her up yet. Yeah, they do not wake up well. The boys, they wake up. I mean, they might be a little groggy, but they're not mean. My wife, my daughter, and all of my granddaughters, when they are sleepy, they are horrible people. They are horrible people. Now, this caused a lot of fights for me and Lady Monkey when we were first married because I didn't understand that. But we're to the point now in our marriage where Lady Monkey, she'll look at me, she'll go, I'm tired. I'm like, I got it. You go lay down. I'm going to go out here and leave you alone. I love you, baby. And that's it. That's it. I don't try to make her feel better or nothing. I just, good night. I love you. And I leave, man, because I'm a smart motherfucker.
I've seen Investigation Discovery.
That woman watched way too much Snapped for me to do that shit.
Yeah. Some wives with knives and you'll shape right up.
Right. Oh my God, man. But no, they're horrible when they're tired. So I just, yeah, I let them sleep when I can. And I'm sure as fuck not waking up a new mom. Right now, apparently Peanut's sleeping 4 hours a night. She sleeps 4 hours, then she'll be awake for about an hour, and then she'll sleep for another 4. So it works out okay. But like Little Butt started sleeping through the night like at 3 weeks old.
Wow.
And now that child sleeps like 13 hours a night.
That's the dream.
Oh, when she's awake, man, she is rambunctious. And she wears her little ass out, and then she goes to sleep and has to refresh. I think you're a little slow, Monkey. I'm not slow. I'm smart, man. You don't fuck with a sleeping woman. Just let them sleep. Thank you for throwing the Streamlabs into the chat there. Yeah, guys, if you'd like to support the channel or support Jack, who's on the channel with me right now, that's a great way to do it. You can toss shekels at us over there. Throw us tips on the Streamlabs. Susan Wojcicki doesn't get any of that money, but, well, she already has a bunch. Thank you, Turkey Hawk, for the thanks for being you sticker and the generous donation that went along with it. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. There was another story I wanted to talk about, Jack. I just keep getting distracted, and I can't remember what it was. I get distracted so very much.
I had the attention span of a gopher, so...
This was a cute little, I mean, it's kind of sad, but it's cute. This guy tweeted out today. It's a picture of his grandfather in a hospital bed and a bunch of them around him with a beer. It says, my grandfather passed away today. Last night, all he wanted to do was have one last beer with his sons. Wow. That's kind of a cool way to go out.
Yeah, there's definitely worse ways.
So yeah, he had his sons around him and they enjoyed a beer in the hospital. Wonder if the hospital knew.
I wouldn't tell them. Fuck them.
Oh man, there was a stupid comedy thing. I hate that shit. Oh, Jack, we read a story, the ultimate story. Climate change places women and girls of color in its crosshairs.
Oh, I saw that one. Oh, that's so fucking dumb.
I don't think that's what happened, Jack. No. See, this makes it sound like climate change is attacking women and girls. I think the women fell downstairs and walked into doors.
Well, yeah, obviously. They do that a lot from what I hear.
And they're blaming women or the climate change. That's not fair to climate change. It can't fight back.
Now,
You
Mother
know,
Nature's a vile bitch. She'll try and kill you at every turn.
we need to punch. We need to punch climate change for being abusive to women. Oh my God. Oh, the other story was Obama. Oh, thank you, Turkey Hawk. Have you ever got a sticker before? Anyway, I'm going to bed. You fellas have a good one. Take care. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've gotten a sticker before. I haven't gotten that one before. I like that. When the stickers first came out, people were throwing those around constantly. It was a lot of fun to see the different ones. And there's one going around now that I think is a fox. Other people think is a cat. Scribe has labeled it dog, cat, fox. I still say it's just a fox. That one's been going around lately too.
Well, have a good night.
Turkey. Yes, good night, sir. And thank you so much for the donations tonight. Obama's come out, well, reportedly, he said that if Sanders looks like he's going to win the race, Obama's going to come out and speak against him. If Sanders looks like he's going to win or is starting to pick up momentum, Obama's going to come out and speak against him. And I thought this was weird. It's not weird because Obama, as much as he is a socialist, he also knows he'd like the Democrats to win, and they're not going to win with Bernie. There it is. Thank you, Manic. There's the fox sticker. See, that's a fox.
It looks like a fox, yeah.
That's a fox.
Could be a Shiba Inu.
I don't know what that is.
That's a small dog.
Ah.
Dangerous said maybe the women were getting mouthy with climate change.
They were. You know they were. Them and their little tiny girl brains.
Yeah.
Failure just said the same thing that you said. It's a Shiba Inu. No, but the curious part to me. Oh, Ebony, thank you so much. Got paid early, so here's some undeserved money, you rude old man. Hi, Jack.
Hi.
Excuse me, Ebony. Middle-aged man. I'm not old. Middle-aged.
Ebony cracks me up. She's funny.
She is. I love Ebony. I like Ebony because I'm half convinced she hate watches me.
I'm pretty sure she hates all of us. And I don't blame her sometimes. Sometimes I know I'm like, oh, that's going to piss Ebony off.
I kind of feel like we're in an abusive relationship with her. Like we're climate change and she's a woman.
Yeah, but she seems classier than climate change.
She really is. I love Ebony. She's a sweetheart. She does get offended at some of the stuff we say, though.
Well, you know, I don't blame her sometimes, but sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, wow, that was inappropriate.
Becca, I did see that, and I'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, so the curious part to me, because they know Sanders can't win, and they asked Obama's spokesman about this, and he didn't really deny it. He said something to the effect of, yeah, but without saying yes. And in the article, they talked about how Obama came out against Sanders in 2016, said, you know, his policies would destroy the financial success or blah, blah, blah that I built, whatever it is. And he's not wrong.
Yeah.
But he didn't say he'd go after Warren.
Well, yeah. Well, he's a pretty big lefty, let's face it. But I think he's backtracking a little bit on his positions because his daughters are college age now.
Maybe. But if you're going to come out against Bernie and his policies, I mean, Warren just cribbed them all. Real quick, thank you, Ebony Williams, who said, I watch for the slight chance that Polly stumbles in and Jack is entertaining. Ouch. Ouch.
Well, she's not wrong.
And thank you, Mike Downey, who says $2 to shill. Let me try that again. $2 to shill Mr. W's classroom library GoFundMe.
Oh, yeah. This is a guy trying to build his classroom library up.
Do we have an actual link to it?
I'll find it.
Thank you. We'll throw it into chat there. Thank you so much, both Ebony and Mike. It just struck me as weird that he didn't say that he would go after Warren too, because, I mean, they have the same basic economic policies. And Warren, right now looks like she has a much better chance than Bernie does. I mean, saying you're going after Bernie at this point is like saying you're going to go after Cory Booker. I mean, he's still in like the top 3 in a lot of polls, but he's 3rd behind Warren.
Yeah. I threw the link in chat for everybody.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Well, there you go. So you guys can check that out if you'd like to. And again, donate if it's something, if you consider it a worthy cause. You know, if you like reading.
If you like kids learning and their literacy, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. How dare you? That's so colonialist.
Right?
Yeah, it just seems to me Obama taking the safe road. He's gonna take the safe stance against socialism. Really? Maybe he's planning to give Warren one. I always have trouble saying that. 1,024th of a blanket. Yeah. Becca says I'm definitely a book nerd. Ooh, that just makes you hotter. I like nerds. I like nerdy girls. My favorite is when my wife wears her glasses and she's wearing like a ponytail. It's like, oh, you're going to get dicked. She's like, stop. I'm just trying to live my life. Like, you got that. Especially if she's got like just a stray hair hanging out somewhere. Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to fuck you right now.
Just trying to live my life. Yeah, with sexy time.
Yep. It's like, you did it. You did it. You know what I like, and you did that on purpose. How dare you? And she's like, why are you doing this to me? Like, look how you're dressed. Is that the wrong answer? And I'm just like, shh, let it happen. No, it's the look I like. I like frumpy looking girls too, Jack. Now, that doesn't mean their body type. I mean their clothing. You know what I mean? There's a difference between being built frumpy and dressing frumpy.
Yeah, that's true.
So it has to be the dress, not just, oh, wow, something went wrong there. You look like you should be married to the wheelchair guy. Feel a little bad about that one. Man. But I really do like I like the nerdy chicks. I always have. I don't know what it is about glasses, man. I like a girl in glasses. That gives me new ideas for ass crack pics, and that's why I love you, Becca. See, she looks out for me. Oh, the bologna story. Yeah, somebody were they coming from Mexico? I think it was. I don't have the story up. There were these people that got stopped with was like 50 pounds of bologna they were trying to sneak into the country.
From Mexico?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, don't bring Mexican meat into the country. You'll kill us all. But yeah, they got stopped. They border patrol or the border people, whatever they're called, happened to notice like these are giant rolls of bologna, man. I think that it was 150 pounds. Thank you, Becca. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I don't have the story up, and that was from a couple of days ago.
150 pounds of bologna. What the fuck are you doing with 150 pounds of bologna?
I don't know. These giant rolls, Jack.
Yeah, I'd like to bring in some third world bologna. Oh, yeah, that won't spread like hepatitis or God knows what.
That's how
you get Ebola spread in the U.S. Bologna.
They brought in the Black Death with bologna. You're going to get the bologna AIDS.
It's probably made out of people.
Oh, God. Yeah, but the Border Patrol people were pulling it out. They looked happy as like they were laughing like I am right now. Yeah, they just got stopped. 150 pounds of bologna I believe it was in just like a little pickup truck. It's not like they were in some big hauler or something. It was just like hidden under the seat of the pickup truck. 150 pounds. They're like 10 or 15 pound rolls each. So there were quite a few of them in there. Bologna is just one big hot dog. No, there's different spices in there.
There's different gross things in it.
Pat says they're trying to kill black folks. You know we love bologna. YouTube, he can say that he's black. We have to qualify jokes, you know.
Of course.
It was a few days ago, so it'll be a lot of scrolling. No, if you're talking about any story from a few days ago, I am sorry because we do get a lot of stuff posted, and I love you guys for it. And I'm sorry I don't hit the hashtag every night, but man, yeah. Is bologna cheaper in Mexico? It probably is. It's made of people.
Yeah, it's made out of rats and shit. I don't want to eat anything that came out of Mexico. You know like the Coca-Cola I'm okay with because that will like clean the cylinders on your battery.
Right. But like I think that bologna is made up of the honest politicians that screwed over the cartels.
Probably.
The ones that all died. Cartel bologna, exactly. Faithless. He said it right as I said that. I just can't, because it didn't. I can't believe it was like some kind of special bologna. We sell bologna here.
Yeah,
everywhere.
It's the standards are lower. Maybe they put some weed in it or something. I don't know. It's just weird.
I ate a dog in Mexico. Didn't know it till it was almost done. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about, Jack.
You ate a dog?
No.
Oh.
When I had my debate with Vegan Gains, he tried to pin me in that corner. Do you think people should be allowed to eat dogs? Yeah, I don't care.
Depends how hungry I am.
As long as it's not somebody's pet, I don't care if you eat dogs.
Well, he's also said he would eat a retarded person. So
he did. But he did his part first, where he was asking me about, and you could hear he was like, "Oh," because he was waiting to have that fight. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. There are cultures who eat dog.
Oh yeah, it's called Southeast Asia.
Yeah,
and Venezuela.
It doesn't bother me because to them it's just meat. Indians revere cows and think it's a sin to kill them and especially to eat them.
Yeah,
we have different tastes, but no. I saw Tulsi Gabbard was on Joe Rogan again.
Oh yeah,
and I was going to go watch it. So I go over to his channel because I never just click recommended links. I'll go to the channel and find the video that way. I don't know why I do that. It's a waste of time, but I still do it that way. Nico, thank you so much. Did you all see that Bernie Sanders wants to tax people who make over $29,000 a year for Medicaid for all? I didn't, but I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
How else are you going to pay for it? I mean, there's no way that they're going to pay for it with Warren's 6% wealth tax on billionaires. Shut up, bitch. So I go over there and I see this name I didn't recognize. I still couldn't tell you who the fuck it was, and I don't know his name. But it was one of Joe's videos that he did recently, one of his podcasts that didn't have a near unanimous like thing. It was actually into the yellow because of people disliking it. And like, oh, and it was debunking this movie called oh fuck, what was the name of it? I need to pull it up so I can actually talk intelligently about this. Sorry guys, I'm in producer/editor mode for a second.
Yeah, Dangerous Spaces makes a good point. It's amazing how many people have to get taxed to get free stuff.
No shit, right? We can talk about that in a moment too, if I remember. His name is Chris Kresser, and he's debunking a movie called The Game Changers. It's a documentary that's recently come out, and it's a vegan documentary.
Oh, of course it is.
So this guy's debunking it. So of course the vegans came out, and so they downvote. You know, got to downvote the guy pointing out your bullshit. And it's this video or this movie that has producers such as Jackie Chan and James Cameron, and it's about how athletes are going vegan and it's turning them into the best athletes ever. And they start by explaining that this one guy, he used to train military people, and then he got hurt. He got hurt for a month. And so for his month off, he did some reading on how to, get better. and he read some books on nutrition, and then he read some book that told him that the gladiators of old ate almost entirely vegan diets. They didn't eat meat.
You can't hear it, but I'm hitting the X button on my keyboard.
Well, there's some truth to that. There's some truth to that. And they go into it on Joe's podcast, because this guy, whoever it is, he's a former vegan, and he's a doctor, an actual doctor, you guys, an actual doctor. And he goes into all this shit. And when it comes to the gladiators didn't look like Russell Crowe in Gladiator. They were fat. They were fattened up to make them fat. There is, if you have certain layers of fat, it can help you when you get hit. It protects your vital organs. But you also have to remember, gladiators were slaves. They didn't feed their slaves the best food. You know why? They're fucking slaves. They were animals that they just sent into the ring to kill each other. They weren't spending their best money and giving them the best food.
No, they were considered chattel property.
Yeah. We tend to think of them, because of the movies, as these amazing beasts who were at least very well fed so that they could go out there, and that's not what they were. You didn't waste your money on these little, they were the lowest, they were slaves. You didn't even care about them. They ate that shit because that's what the people were willing to give them. It's not like that was the opportune diet for them. It's just what they fucking were allowed to eat. Nope says my unit. Let me retry that. My organs are well protected. Thank you so much. Nope. Mine too, man. They're getting there. I've been eating regularly as I feed Lady Monkey, and I'm putting on a pound or two. Fatty tissue doesn't bleed as readily. Exactly, Assassin of the Grey. So there are reasons. There's pictures, from back then, drawings and stuff. The gladiators aren't drawn as these awesome specimens. They're drawn fat because they were fat. And yeah, they were expected to die. So there's that whole part of it, Jack. But then he goes into it, and if you ever argue with a vegan, watch this, because they go over a whole bunch of vegan shit, vegan nonsense. Like in the movie, they tell you that a peanut butter sandwich will give you the same protein as a cut of beef. I think it's a 3-ounce piece of beef, which, by the way, is true. But you have to have like 1/3 of a cup of peanut butter on your sandwich.
That's a lot of peanut butter and not a lot of meat.
That's a shit ton of peanut butter. I like a thick layer of peanut butter. And even for me, that'd be like, oh no, I don't think I could eat that. But even with that, there's different kinds of protein. And the protein that would be in the bread, they even said, look, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt here, and think that maybe they're making good night, Mata, that they used wheat bread, which would be your best source of protein, right? And the 1/3 of a cup of peanut butter. When it comes to the kind of protein that your body absorbs, that 3 ounces of meat is like at the top, the best that you can eat. And that peanut butter and bread is like way down on the bottom of the list of what you should be eating for protein intake. And we saw just the other day. Who told you that, Monkey? It's not true. Gladiators were admired celebrities. Look it up. There were a few, the few who made it out. Look it up. They were slaves.
Yeah, they were slaves, but they were just the high-ranking slaves. They're still a slave.
You're talking about, okay. Look it up and tell me how many gladiators they can name. There's very few, because you know what happened to the rest of them? They died and went. Nobody cared. Nobody fucking cared. 1/3 of a cup ain't much. I could eat that alone. Yeah, You can eat that alone. Imagine getting all of your protein from eating that sandwich every day, 3 times a day. And remember, that is the same as a 3-ounce cut of meat, which, by the way, entirely small piece of meat. That is a tiny, tiny piece of meat. See, I knew I'm going to piss off vegans having this talk, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Vegans mad as shit.
Well, peanut butter is good for an emergency. Like, you keep a jar of peanut butter with your food prep in case of disaster when you can't get meat. But, yeah, that's not something you want to rely on for protein.
No, I mean, if it's part of a balanced diet, that can be your protein for a meal here and there. Just like fish can be.
Yeah.
But, whoops, that's meat.
Eggs. Oh, wait.
Eggs. Yeah. Eggs are another one that's way up on the list. But again, yeah, you're eating Downsy eggs. Yeah. So they go through all of this, and this guy, he's wicked smart, and there's all kind. And I was reminded of as I was listening to this, reminded of my talk with Vegan Gains, because he goes after almost every study that the vegans put out. But again, this is my problem with vegans. If you want to be a vegan, do it. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. 1, shut the fuck up about it. Just go be a vegan. 2, stop treating me like I'm a horrible person because I'm not a vegan. Because fuck you. And 3, be honest about it. That's the problem with vegans. They're not honest about it. Can you live a vegan life and be healthy? Yes. But it is incredibly hard to maintain that diet. Incredibly hard to maintain that diet and get everything the body needs.
Yeah.
And we see this time and time again. There was just a story the other day of a child who died because their parents were feeding them a vegan diet. And the other kids in the house were fucking malnourished. That kid died of malnourishment in America with a family who's rich enough to eat a vegan diet. Because, by the way, it's also a little bit expensive. Unfortunately, they weren't giving these kids everything they needed to be healthy. The child was dehydrated because of malnutrition. But healthy lifestyle, you guys. It's not healthy just because, oh my God, I'm eating carrots all the fucking time. That doesn't make you healthy. You need a balanced diet. And the easiest way to get your protein, to get your, A and B12 and all these, is eating fucking meat. You don't have to have a lot of it. You really don't. But you need some. That, or you need to take supplements and give them to your fucking kids, you douchebags. Anyhow. What was the other one somebody had just brought up? I said I could touch on it a little bit. Where'd it go? Dude, it was before the vegan stuff.
I don't remember.
I know. I'm looking and seeing if I can find it. That was the Medicare for all. Okay, I don't remember what it was. If anybody remembers what it was, let me know. Because I can talk about this shit all day.
So what has Vegan Gains been up to?
Oh, I don't know what he's been up to lately. The last time I had any interaction with Richard when he lost his channel for a while. And
oh yeah.
I reached out to him and offered to help him in any way I could. Because look, I don't necessarily like the guy, and we obviously have differences, but I also don't want him shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he was out there encouraging anybody to commit a crime. So let him speak. And yeah, it was a really interesting conversation we had there. Again, people that I disagree with. Most of the time when I disagree with somebody, even in a yelling match like that, I don't hate them. I just think you're kind of an idiot. So yeah, I reached out to him. Yeah, Lady Monkey, she sent me a text that day. So Vegan Gains lost his channel. I was like, what? She goes, yeah, and she sent me the thing, and so I just reached out to him real quick. Like, look, dude, I know we don't get along very well, but if there's anything I can do to help you, let me know. And he was very nice. We still just don't agree. And we're both what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of loudmouth. So Look, I was no better. The way I acted was no better than the way he acted. I'm not going to pretend I'm better than him.
I'll pretend I'm better than him because I'm fucking better than him.
Yeah.
The Bernie tax? So dangerous.
Oh yeah,
Thank
the
you,
Bernie
Dangerous.
tax. We'll grab that. There was the gun video he sent to Bering. Yes, and I'll be honest, I don't know what to make of those because there's also the ones where he's talking about was it Repsion? He threatened to slit his throat. I don't know how much of that is his character because he also once said he was going to stomp a baby. He'd like to stomp a baby's head into the curb and just smash it with his boot. I don't know how much of that is roid rage, how much of that is him pretending. I haven't seen him actually do anything, or I don't know. With Richard, it's weird. It's just weird. So yeah, we've had our beef, and that's where I've left it. But yeah, the Bernie tax thing. AOC has decided, Jack, that we have to stop saying that we're giving people stuff for free. We have to stop saying that. And I let me see if I can find her fucking tweet because oh my god, it was so fucking stupid. Let's see, AOC. She gave a talk somewhere. This is it, right? Yes. Instead of calling it saying that we're giving people free stuff, here's her tweet. Public education, libraries, and infrastructure policies, which we've had before in America and elsewhere in the world, are not free stuff. They are public goods, and they're worth investing in, protecting, and advancing for all society and future generations. Sincerely, NY14. That's her district. What she's getting at is all the shit she wants to give away free with other people's tax dollars. It's not free, Jack. It's public goods.
Public goods.
Public goods. Medicare for all, public goods. Free college, public goods.
Ridiculous.
Public goods. At least they finally understood it's not free. We finally got that through their thick fucking skulls. Nothing is free. All this stuff you want to give away. Now, what she didn't say there is that she didn't address is that it is still trying to give it away to people and pretending that they don't have to pay for it. Now it's public goods. Oh, Frank, thank you so much. Let me check. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't ding. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Frank, over on the Streamlabs. One of my younger sisters is a far left vegan. We've argued about the difference between incomplete and complete protein many times. Also had to argue with her, micro-marine biologist / atheist, about our evolutionary ancestors eating flesh. Wow. Look, arguing with a vegan is like punching yourself in the dick. You can do it, but it's going to hurt. Yeah, it's going to be painful.
They're religious zealots. You're not going to get very far with them.
Yeah, it is zealotry. That's what it is. And it is a moral crusade for them.
Yeah. You'd have more luck talking to a Branch Davidian or a Jonestown member at the peak of their fame.
This isn't just about choices in eating. I mean, they've incorporated global warming into it. They've incorporated excuse me, the animal abuse. They've incorporated. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Havoc, who says we should claim her house as public goods. See how well she likes the idea then, right? Yeah. I wonder if they ever fixed that problem. She moved into a building that doesn't have affordable housing somewhere in it, and it's supposed to in DC. Oops.
Yeah. I'm sure they're in a real hurry to fix that one.
But yeah, and vegans will go out of their way to deny history and science, and they will find special doctors to repeat the same stupid shit without actually looking into it. They're fundamentalists though. It's not just about, oh, well, meat's bad for you, so you shouldn't eat it. It's about you are evil if you eat meat. They actually see it as an evil. Now, hashtag not all, but your zealot ones, the ones that'll argue with you about it and who watch movies like that one and go and downvote Joe's podcast because they don't like that somebody disagrees with veganism. A former vegan, by the way, who's lived the life. You know why he gave up the life, Jack?
Why?
It was making him sick.
Yeah, of course. Just like being in a cult.
Yeah. Well, this guy's naturally skinny, and he said he was losing weight at a horrific pace because he wasn't getting what he needed to survive. So he's like, yeah, this is too hard. And he's like, so I'm letting it go. But yeah, so don't worry about Bernie taxing people over $29,000 because it's for public goods, you guys. Especially your far left Democrats. That all money belongs to the people. And whatever you don't give to the government is what the government is letting you keep.
Yeah.
And you should feel lucky about what they let you keep.
Oh, absolutely. That's how they think, because they don't believe in private property. They believe that the government allows you to do things.
Yep. That's and I think I just talked about this the other night, maybe a week ago. You see this when they talk about tax cuts for the rich, and they'll say they're giving the rich people money. Like, no, you can disagree with a tax cut for the rich, but they're not giving rich people money. They're letting rich people keep their money. That's an entirely different thing.
Yeah, but see, these are also the same people that won't go for a flat tax. If you just tax everyone at exactly the same rate and with no loopholes, everybody would be paying their fair share. But they'll never go for that because they benefit too much from that.
Yeah, I think the ideal tax plan, and I'm deadly serious on this, is you make a floor, say $20,000. If you make less than $20,000, fine, you don't have to pay taxes. Every dollar over $20,000 is flat taxed. So if the tax rate is 15%, every dollar over $20,000 earned by a person, 15% of it is taxed. There you go. It's even. Everybody pays literally their fair share while still not punishing really poor people.
Yep.
Done. I don't understand. Well, I do understand the objections. I don't understand why people fall for the objections.
They're dumb. I don't know.
The first time I heard of a flat tax, I'm like, well, I just thought that was called smart. I remember watching when flat tax was actually being debated. They were like, the Republicans only support that because they're going to pay less tax. I'm like, I thought you were bitching because they don't pay taxes now. No, you're talking about literally getting rid of all loopholes. You know why Jeff Bezos didn't pay much in taxes? Because those shitbags in Congress put so many loopholes in there, he doesn't have to. That's not a Jeff Bezos problem. That's a Congress problem.
Yeah.
And you have people like Bernie Sanders who have the fucking nerve to bitch about this. He's been in Congress since he was born. You know how many tax bills he has closing loopholes? Yeah. You know how much he pushed for closing loopholes when the Democrats ran all of Congress back in 2008? Yeah.
Wow.
But they all bitch about it. They all bitch about it, man. Yes, I know I'm describing a flat tax. And I described that because Jack had just brought up the flat tax. I think that is the perfect system. But the argument against that, well, poor people still buy more stuff, so they'll have more taxes. And are you seriously arguing that poor people buy more stuff than rich people? Seriously?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Think that through for a minute. I also think that the cap should be lifted off of Social Security and FICA taxes. And people, well, no, shut up. I don't give a fuck. everybody should pay the same percentage in their taxes. That's fair. When you say, because that is the one place where rich people do not have to pay even close to what anyone else does. Because last I knew was it 12.5% for the employee and then 12.5% for the employer that goes into FICA. But I can't remember what. Last I knew, it was like a ceiling of $200,000, something like that. So after $200,000, there's no tax anymore. So if you make $1 million, you actually are paying far less than 12.5%. That is where the rich people get away with it. They're like, well, nobody's ever going to get that back. Let's be honest. Those rich people are never going to get that back because they don't care about that $300 a month. Yeah, so I hate that part of it. But yeah, just put in a flat tax.
Yeah.
And no more taking taxes out of payroll checks. If you want to pay your taxes weekly or whatever through your check, you have to go cash your check and then come back and pay it to someone. So because this is a problem with our tax system, Jack. I really believe this, that one of the biggest problems with our tax system is that people don't even realize how much they're actually paying.
Yeah.
And when you start realizing what you're paying and then you hear about these stupid ass programs going on, you might be like, you know what? Fuck these guys. Why are they taking all of my fucking money? Anyway, I've never understood why we don't have a flat tax. I'm with you, Frank. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Progressive era. This is all from the progressive taxes.
It's we talked about Flint earlier today on the after show or the after party, and it's going to take forever to fix Flint's water. You know why? Because there's no outrage in fixing things.
Yeah.
They're not going to fix the tax system. There's no outrage in fixing the tax system. If you fix the tax system so everybody's paying an equal amount and you can't go, look at the rich people getting away with not having to pay taxes. What are you going to do when you can't do that anymore? You'll have to focus on something else and actually try to fix it.
Do their jobs? What are you, a monster?
Well, it's amazing to me. I mean, Obama ran on the notion, and he actually said this when he was running, that he was going to make the tax code so simple that everybody would only have to fill out one sheet of paper, which it was funny to me when he said that. He's like, does he realize how many people he's talking about putting out of work? How many accountants he's talking about putting out of fucking work? But he gets into office and he has not just a friendly Congress, an extremely friendly Congress. You know what he changed to the tax code? Nothing. In fact, he even kept the Bush tax cuts, which he campaigned against. And he told us we can't raise taxes at a time like this, not when we're in a recession. He actually said that.
Yeah.
And all of his supporters went, yeah, we can't raise taxes in a recession. The same motherfuckers who spent years bitching about the Bush tax cuts. Suddenly, because Obama's like, well, we can't do it. They're like, yeah, we can't do it. Like, all right. You people have no goddamn principles. None. But it gives politicians a chance to lie to you, get into office, and then not do anything. It's wonderful. Flat tax would have to be a low percentage, though, wouldn't it? No. It would probably hurt the middle class. I'm not going to lie to you, because they get a lot of tax breaks and stuff. So let's say what is 15% of $20,000? What is that, like $3,000?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think that's $3,000. So yeah, they would be paying a $3,000 tax bill if they made $40,000, because the first $20,000 would come off. You pay 15% on that, or if we needed 20%. You know how you fix that? Stop spending so much. We spend. They bitch about military spending. Military spending is like, last I saw, I want to say it was $600 billion a year, which is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. 600 billion, 700, something like, maybe it was 800 billion. I don't even remember, but it was less than $1 trillion of a budget of 4 trillion. Less than $1 trillion of a budget of 4 trillion. And that's the thing they always bitch about. We're spending too much on the military. Okay, maybe we are. But you want to tell me about this other 3 trillion we're spending over here? Oh no, we can't talk about that. That's all the bullshit programs that we spend to buy people's votes, man. We can't talk about that. We gotta look at that military spending.
Yeah, don't be silly, monkey. Jeez.
It's fucking stupid. And people fall for it every time.
Of course
every time. You look at discretionary spending, non-military discretionary spending. We spend billions of dollars on entitlements, billions on entitlements. And they're like, we're not spending that much money. Well, then why are you bitching about the military? We spend a shit ton less on that. And yeah, I mean, we spend a ton of money. And you know what? You want to lower taxes? Cut spending. It's really not that hard. It's you know what, Jack? I know what the problem is. The people who work in government, they never had an economics class either.
Nope. And a lot of them don't want to lose their jobs because they'll be cut because they're useless.
Yeah, I know. Our government guys, our president didn't used to be as powerful as he is. George Washington wasn't seen as the most powerful man in the world. Fuck, I don't think that came around until the FDR days, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
The president was a figurehead. He signed the bills, and Congress wasn't in session all year long. They went home most of the time. They'd go in, they'd do what needed done, and then go the fuck home. That's why you have things like the ability of a president to push through a nominee when the Senate is in recess. Because we're talking about the Senate being in recess where they had to take a buggy home to Pennsylvania. Well,
yeah, I mean, they used to run farms and have jobs.
Yeah. And then we turned it into an actual career path. And you know what? I don't even mind it being a career path. Fine. Pay these fuckers almost $200,000 a year. But they get 3 months to do what they need to do. That's it. 3 months. And then take your ass back to your district and sweep up rats in Baltimore or clean water in Flint, whatever the fuck you need to do. Get the fuck out of Washington, because all you do is you sit there and you pretend you're fixing problems and you don't do shit. You have committee meetings all day long for nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, no, it's to look busy.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's busy work. Over on the Streamlabs, thank you again, Frank, who says, right now I'm at 25% federal, 3.07 state, 1% local, plus all of the other little hits. But Romney was paying 11% overall. Wouldn't that 25 go down if the wealthy came up some? No, not necessarily. Because Romney, he may have been paying 11%, but that wasn't his tax rate. That was his tax rate after all the deductions and shit rich people get. The top marginal rate, I believe, is 32% right now. I know it's in the 30 percentile, or at least, sorry, let me rephrase that. It was the last time I looked. The rich do not pay a lower percentage than anyone else on the basic tax table. They pay less when it comes to taking deductions. That's where it all comes from. It comes from the loopholes, you guys. It comes from the loopholes. That's why they can say the rich are taxed at a higher rate. Well, they are technically. But yeah, a lot of times they end up paying a lot less because they get loopholes that you probably won't qualify for. Because it's shit you need to be rich to qualify for. It's like the thing with businesses where they can avoid paying taxes if they took a pitfall here or there, and they can avoid it for like the next 5 fucking years. That's why places like Amazon end up paying no fucking taxes. It's not just the tax breaks they get for putting a building in somewhere. It's annoying, Jack. It's fucking annoying.
They have no interest in fixing it because there's a bunch of lifers in there.
I know. According to AOC, it's actually the government giving the rich money. It is. That's what she says. And it's not just her. In fairness to her, I mean that is the liberal way of thinking about taxes.
It's probably more accurately the communist way of doing it.
Well, you're right. You're not wrong. But all liberals seem to do that. They're giving the rich money. That's even mainstream Democrat.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking stupid because it's not even close to reality. Look, they're giving them tax breaks and letting them keep their money, but they're not giving them money. It's not like you know who is actually given money? Poor people. Poor people are given money through the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit. The child tax credit, when it was first instituted, was a flat sum. Real quick, thank you, Daryl Parnas, who says, as an Uber driver, I can deduct car loan interest. Cool. You better. Deduct what you can. Like Donald Trump said, if he's not paying taxes, it's because he's smart, not because he's, doing anything illegal. When Hillary tried, you're probably not even paying taxes. And he said, that's because I'm smart.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. Real quick over on the Streamlabs. I think Social Security thing you guys have isn't working. I know in Australia we have super annulation. I don't know how to say that. That is basically a mandatory pension. We also have a simplerish tax system, and there's a link to it. Well, we have a mandatory pension. That's what Social Security is. It doesn't work because, well, putting your money into the government and just letting it sit there earning no interest is not a good way to retire.
Yeah, if you're counting on that for your survival, you're probably going to die.
Yeah, I hope you like cat food.
Yeah.
And not the good stuff. You're going to have to get great value cat food.
Yeah, out of the dumpster behind Walmart.
I forgot what I was talking about before those came through. AOC is not the only stupid one. Plenty of stupid to go. Oh, yeah. In our Congress, you're right, Jack. They have no interest in fixing things. If they actually did, they could have fixed shit long ago.
Why would they care? They don't have to get real jobs.
True. And they're making our congressman, each one of those motherfuckers makes $175,000 a year. Oh, that's what I was going to say. The people who do get paid, the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit. The child tax credit was something George Bush put into being. And what it was is you could claim a new tax credit, but if it puts you, if let's say the tax credit was $2,500 and you owed taxes of $2,000, you wouldn't get that $5,000 back.
Yeah.
Which the earned income credit, that is how it works. If you owe $2,000 in taxes and the earned income credit is $2,500, you would get a check for $500. The government actually paid you. Well, somewhere along the line, I can't remember if it was under Obama's first or second term, or maybe it was still in Bush's term. I don't think it was. I think it was under Obama. They changed the child tax credit, so it's just like the earned income one. So you get money back there too. So poor people are the ones who get money back. You also have things like, yes, I know somebody's going to be, what about corporate welfare? Yes, there's that as well. But it's not, but rich people are not getting fat checks from the government for taxes. Not to mention how often the government dips to Social Security and never pays it back. Well, yeah, that when they dipped into the Social Security trust fund, we never do that. The fuck you don't.
Yeah, they do it all the time. There's no money in there.
Yeah, legally they're not allowed to.
No, but they will anyway.
But that trust fund is full of IOUs, man.
Yeah. That's all going to collapse at some point.
Yeah, it is. Well, they keep kicking the can down the road. Every so often, they'll fix it a little bit.
That's sort of like putting duct tape on the side of a boat. Eventually, it's just not going to hold up.
Right. Yeah, it'll last for a while that way.
Yeah, this is why we need term limits.
See, I still don't agree with term limits. This is why I think they should only get 3 months a year to do their job.
Yeah, but we know neither one of them are going to come to pass. So
true story. Don't even start on the Federal Reserve. Yeah, faithless. Don't. Oof.
Yeah. No, I like being alive.
I go straight conspiracy when it comes to those fuckers.
Yeah.
No one says how much gold do you think is left in Fort Knox. There's no gold in Fort Knox. It's all at the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, they probably got rid of all the gold a long time ago and invested in dumb shit.
Yeah.
That would not surprise me one bit.
They took all our gold to a cash for gold place. Real quick, Evolved Potato, thank you so much. A little more in depth. Super non-nation, I think I'm saying that right, is not a government thing. You get a private business to take it and invest it, and you do earn interest on it. There's a minimum percentage to pay, but you can pay in more. Oh, so yeah, it's like privatized Social Security, basically. Yeah, I'm assuming you're forced to do it, right? You have to do at least a minimum amount, which would be a much better system. A much better system would be to give people like, okay, whatever your tax rate is, say, let's go with the 25% earlier. No, it's the Social Security one. So 12.5% of your pay, you have to put into some kind of investment. And you put it into even a savings bond, and you just roll that over year after year after year, adding more to it. You're going to have a far fuck ton more money than what you would get from Social Security when you retire.
Yeah. Even
with that low ass interest rate you'd be getting off that savings bond, off just a regular CD. Yeah, it's yeah, Social Security was a bad idea. I know why they did it, and I understand why they did it, but Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, they took all our gold and gave it to the Federal Reserve. That was smart.
Yeah.
A private company. People, that's another thing people don't understand. The Federal Reserve is not, it's not a government entity. It's a private company. And we gave them all our gold.
That money's long gone.
Yep. It's probably not even in the Federal Reserve in New York like people think it is.
Oh, fuck. No, it's not.
That shit's in Switzerland with the Jew gold.
Yeah.
We lease our money from them. Yes. Which, by the way, is illegal.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't even give me yeah. Faithless. See what you did? Go sit in the corner. Grizzly Bear, thank you so much. Change representative like you change diapers. Here's the problem with that, though. I want you guys to think about this. On paper, that kind of makes sense. But think about the Congress you got in 2018. There's quite a bit of change in there. Quite a bit of change. And even with the term limits, what would you give a House member for a term limit? 4 terms? 5 terms? Let's say 10 years? That means you could have AOC stuck there for 10 years. And when she goes, what comes after that? the idea that we might get something better, I don't think people even think that far. It's just these guys suck, so we need something new. I'm more. It's not that I'm a devil kind of person, Jack, because I don't believe in that kind of thinking. Because I don't like to dance with the devil anyway. Unless it's for fun. When it comes to my nation's politics, I'm not all about dancing with the devil. But it seems to me that people think these guys are going to go in there and actually do something good. They could still spend 10 years doing absolutely nothing and collecting that fat paycheck. You're just rolling over the assholes who are in there. The only way to fix our system is never going to happen. You know how we fix our system? People need to actually vote based on what they want to happen for their country rather than Well, I'm a Democrat, so I'm voting for a Democrat. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this shitbag isn't getting anything done. Oh, we'll try this other guy this time. And if he doesn't work out, okay, we'll try the next guy. But that's never going to happen. The reason that these people can stay in power for so long is because of party politics and how many fucking places we have that will just vote based on that fucking D or that fucking R. That's the problem. It's not term limits. Mike, thank you so much. We live in a constitutional republic, not a democracy. Yes, but we do almost all of our elections by democratic vote. We are not just a constitutional republic, a constitutionally guaranteed republic. And that's one of the problems with the president becoming so powerful. We've made our federal government so powerful that we are a republic in name only these days.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like these politicians being in office for 30, 40 years. I don't trust that. But they've got so much power anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, I'm not a fan of them doing that, Jack, but I think people should be able to vote for whoever they want to.
Yeah.
But the point being is that AOC replaced Crowley in New York's 14th district, a career politician. He was the number 4 in the House, which would have made him, I think that would have put him either in Schiff's position or Nadler's position as the top of one of those two chairmanships. He was Nancy Pelosi's right-hand man, and he got kicked out, and we ended up with AOC.
There was some other guy that had that happen to him from like Virginia because he never went back to his district.
Mm-hmm.
Forget who it was. It was some Republican.
So you get rid of the asshole who's in there, and you replace him with an asshole who's on the same side and maybe even worse at it, you know?
Well, yeah, it's just the thing. I mean, the problem is we have a lot of disingenuous pieces of shit running for office. So I don't like any of them.
Yep.
But I don't trust them. If they tell me they're a politician, I don't trust them automatically. They might as well just tell me they're in league with the devil.
Yeah. And it's only going to get worse as we get more polarized and more identitarian.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And they play into that because behind the scenes, they're probably all friends. It's not about politics for them, but it's about power and money.
Yep. Don't get me wrong. They'd rather have their side in power, but fuck it. I mean, hey, it's nice to see you again, Jim. You want to go have lunch?
Yeah.
We're both getting paid for it. I mean,
we turned into the bitterness stream real fast.
For all her faults and idiocy, AOC is less corrupt than Nancy Pelosi. Not true. Not true. AOC is corrupt as fuck.
Are they still investigating her campaign?
Yep. Because she paid a third party who in turn paid her boyfriend $6,000 for 2 months in a row. Her live-in boyfriend, her campaign paid this company, which paid him for consulting. And then you had Saikat Chakrabarti, who was skimming off the top as far as we can tell, and funneling money into his personal business, because it's a business, don't you know? Yeah, Pelosi's just been in there longer. They're both corrupt as fuck. AOC is a corrupt bitch. That is one corrupt bitch. The whole squad. Let me take that back. You know, I feel like Presley shouldn't even be in the squad.
She's the Ringo Starr of that squad.
She is. She's also the only one that's not under an ethics investigation for campaign finance bullshit. Yet. But yeah, she's the only one that there's been no actual charges of corruption. And the charges of corruption are mounting up against the other three.
Yeah. Well, nothing's going to happen.
Of course not.
I don't think there's any real justice for those politicians anymore.
Well, there's not. Even most of the time that people get kicked out of Congress, it's got to be for something and not even kicked out, drummed out of Congress, because they never kick anybody out anymore. What happens is like with Katie Hill, you have a sex scandal that'll make you have to leave. You were breaking every campaign finance law known to man. Okay, we'll give you a little fine. No big deal.
Real quick over on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Evolved Potato. How about this? Non-recurring terms. Every other term you can go and has no max limits. I find that idea rather intriguing, actually. That could be really funny.
Yeah, but again, I mean, you just end up with the same assholes over and over.
Yeah. At Bearcock asked, what is your Twitter? Thank you for the donation, both of you. My Twitter for Bad Comic Reviews is at DE_reviewer. That's my roommate's. You can't see the air quotes, but they're there. My roommate's Twitter, he's my social media manager. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Otherwise, you can find me at the Jack Cochran.
I know so many people who look at the term limit thing, and it kind of works with the president. And here's why: the president isn't. The presidency is different than Congress. I am still not a fan of term limits when it comes to them, but because you can get tired of the president and it's a national election rather than just your local election, we tend to change them out every couple of decades or so. If you go back to Nixon, let's see, you go Republican, Democrat, Republican, Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican. That's how it's broke down. So it goes back and forth with the presidency. You don't get that with your locals, though, because again, the demographics of your area don't change that often. So a liberal town tends to stay a liberal town. So even if you force them to pick some new asshole, they're just going to pick some new liberal asshole who's going to go in there and do nothing. He's going to go in there and collect that fat pay. I want to run for Congress, Jack.
Go for it. I've seen the people they let in.
I actually thought about it a few years ago when I was in my 30s. I thought long and hard about running for the representative in this part. And the guy who had it at the time, they're like, he'll never lose. I'm like, I could beat him. I could beat him. And then they ended up actually changing all the districts, so he's not my congressman anymore. I forget where he's at now, but I don't even know my congressman anymore. Like, fuck off. I get an email from him once in a while. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot to subscribe to that. I could beat that one too. I'm a convincing motherfucker. And this is a conservative area, so me being a conservative, the only thing that might help is if they ever found this show, or might hurt me if they found this show.
I'd just blame it all on me. He forced me into it. He's a dick.
I'd be up there as like taking questions, and reporter go, can you tell us about Downsy eggs? I'm like, that was Jack. That wasn't me. Right. That was Jack.
That's right. Just blame me. I'm fine with it. I get it. I'll come out and be like, yeah, Downsy eggs are for retards.
And I'd be like, yeah, that's Jack, my chief of staff. Yeah.
He's an asshole, but he shows up. Hate Camel reminded me that it was Eric Cantor I was trying to think of. That lost his position.
Yeah. Oh, man, he just kind of disappeared, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He lost pretty badly, though. That was pretty embarrassing.
Well, I remember when Gephardt left, and Gephardt left because it looked like he was actually going to lose. And at the time, I mean, Dick Gephardt was like the top Democrat in the House. Yeah, that's a name. If you're not familiar with politics, you probably don't remember. But I remember the day he stepped down. I was like, holy fuck! Did somebody get pictures of him sleeping with a boy?
Probably. Was he on Epstein's Island?
I know, right? Because I mean, it was weird for him to step down the way he did. But then if you looked at the polling in his district, it's like, oh, He was about to get his ass kicked.
Oh, thank you very much, Ebony Williams. Here you go. It's long overdue. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
That's very kind. Wait, how come you don't make him say bad stuff about himself, but you make me say
because she's a classy lady.
Shit about me.
No, she's classy. You leave her alone.
She's a sweetie.
She's the probably the classiest person in the stream. Her and Stargazer.
I was gonna say you better include my nuts in there. Because, again, she's been pimping us out all night. And thank you so much for that, nuts. Guys, again, if you'd like to donate to us, a great way to do it is through Streamlabs. The links are in the description and in the chat, thanks to the wonderful Stargazer Nuts. And if some of you are like, why do you call her nuts? It's none of your business. Stay out of my personal life.
It's a secret.
Pete says, am I muted? I don't think so. Judging by the fact I could read that, I'm going to say no. Havoc, thank you so much. She makes you do it because you'll fall for it. It's not that I'll fall for it. It's that I have to read. Now, for the record, I do reserve the right not to read super chats and Streamlabs if they say something that I'm not willing to say.
Yeah, something that'll lose your channel over.
Well, you go back. The whole reason that we ever had problems with super chat and why it's moderated by YouTube themselves these days is because you had those assholes that took the time to say the worst possible thing they could think to say. Look how edgy I'm being. I just made a joke about Jews.
Yeah,
I hate the Jews.
Those are people that are trying to get you in trouble.
Yeah, and I will not read that shit.
No, it's not worth the risk.
If you're making me be rude to myself, I'm okay with that. I don't give a shit. Well, it's not even about the risk, Jack. There's a difference between you actually telling a joke and you just trying to be the edgy boy.
Yeah.
You know, fuck them Jews. Go fuck yourself. Or dropping just N-bombs all in a row. Go fuck yourself.
That's just lazy. And it's not funny.
No, it's just, it is, you're right, lazy. It's Tom Green humor.
Yeah. Assassin said, yeah, Pete, you totally are muted. And Pete said, damn it, I knew it. That's funny to me. I don't know why.
Monkey, why do you do it? Because Monkey's a whore. You're not wrong. I am a whore. And I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah, that's the important thing is that you're comfortable in your skin. You're sex positive.
Elwin says, don't feed the trolls, Internet 101. I disagree with that notion. I will fuck with a troll all day long. Especially if one comes into my chat and they're like typing shit and I can just answer with my voice. Like the dude the other day. Were you here for that, Jack? I don't remember if that was on the morning one or the night one.
Yeah, they all blur together after a while.
He came in and he said that Kuipers fuck little soy boys in the ass. I'm like, so you're gay?
So they think a lot about butt sex. Have you noticed that?
Which is weird because I thought one of their platforms was gay is bad. But man,
yeah,
they
but that's all they can fucking talk about.
They love having ass sex with men.
Hey, I'm not judging. I got nothing against them, but picturing a frog banging dudes in the ass is kind of weird.
It's just, I mean, look, I will fuck with a troll all day long if I can. I've done it for whole days on Twitter when I'm bored. Bearcock, thank you so much. He says, if you run for Congress and you need to make your opponent sad, call me up. I got you back, monkey. Thank you so much. No, I really have thought about it. And then it's like, ooh, do I have any skeletons in my closet? I might have one or two that I don't want to deal with. I don't want to have to go out and explain why I'm a bastard. You know, that's the start of my life. I don't want that in my bio on some congressional page. Started his life as a bastard affair, almost aborted person. Like, oh yeah, it's gonna go downhill from here. No, not men. They always say boys, which makes it worse. You got a point there, Cirque. Yeah, it is boys.
So they're gay pedos.
Yeah, that's creepy, y'all. I'm not. Look, What you dream about in your world is I was born a poor black child. Oh God, Faith. That was such a great movie. Such a great movie. All I need is my lamp. That's my favorite part of it. When he's losing his house and everything, all I need is my lamp. And God, dude, that's a great. I haven't watched that in a long time. I'd never seen that until I met Lady Monkey, and she's like, "No, you have to watch this." I'm like, "All right," and yeah, I just fell in love with it. He finally learns how to keep the beat.
The oil cans are exploding.
Oh yes, the guy kept trying to kill him. Oh man.
I think it was Becca sent into the hashtag. Did you see the article about the HIV sperm banks?
Oh, for fuck's sake, really?
Yeah.
We talked the other night about the article, what you have to lose by not having sex with an HIV positive person.
Yeah, life.
HIV?
Yeah.
I'm okay missing that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in life I'm comfortable with not getting. Whoa, hello, Evolved Potatoes pictures.
Wow.
That was out of nowhere.
Gothy chick there?
Those are gigantic.
Oh my goodness.
Not quite on par with the Asians the evil one put in, but a couple of cuties in there.
Number 2 on the last one that went in there. I love how you can just see the bush there. Oh, yeah. That's nice. That is nice.
It's got the little landing strip.
Oh, and Becca gave me some nerds. Oh, yes. Oh, that 4th one. Oh, too bad she has the tattoos, because otherwise, oh, yeah. Yes, that is the look right there. I'm a nerd, but once I take down my ponytail and take off my glasses, I'm going to rock you. Oh, man, she gave me some more, too. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I would bang a librarian. I'm not going to
lie. Depends on the librarian.
Well, sure. You know what I mean, though. I'm not. It's not like, oh, she's a nerd, I can't put it in there. Like, I can put it in there. And oh, yeah, I see the Asians. Wow. I came here looking for HIV, and I may have found it with these girls, but not that I can tell. Oh, and we got some bouncing from Massive. Man, the Ass Crack team is on it, man.
Yeah. Did you see the new Barbie dolls that are coming out?
Which ones are these?
The gender neutral Barbies.
Oh, the one where you can actually like mix and match them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about those when they first announced them. Are they coming out now?
Yeah.
Oh my. I was looking for stories. Sorry, guys. Holy shit. Y'all are good at your jobs.
Evolved Potato said, "Stay away from me. I'm studying to be a librarian."
Oh, Becca retweeted I want to put this up there because she retweeted the bologna pictures. This is from that bologna bust. Look at these fucking rolls of bologna, dude. 150 pounds of Mexican bologna.
Seriously, that's fucking weird.
Yeah. But look how happy they look. The guy looks real.
Well, yeah, they're gonna eat that shit. You know they are.
That chick's like,
look at those
I'm
two.
gonna hide this shit.
Yeah, those two big motherfuckers are gonna eat lunch for a week off of that.
I just love the picture. Thank you for resharing that, Becca. Because yeah, if I don't catch it like within the first 2 days, most stories get missed, and I do apologize for that, guys. But I'm not going to change because, well, it's me. New Zealand launches world's first HIV-positive sperm bank. Effort aims to reduce the stigma experienced by those living with the virus. By making AIDS babies? The fuck is wrong with you? Seriously?
That's what happens when you let them take your guns away.
The world's first HIV-positive sperm bank has been launched in an effort to reduce the stigma experienced by those living with the virus. Sperm positive No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Yes, they
this
did.
place is named Sperm Positive. Sperm Positive has begun with 3 male donors from across New Zealand who are living with HIV but have an undetectable viral load, meaning the amount of the virus in a person's blood is so low that it cannot be detected by standard methods.
Well, they had a viral load, all right.
No shit. Although this does not mean the HIV has been cured, it does mean that the treatment is working well, and so the virus cannot be passed on even through sex without a condom or childbirth. Here's an idea. I'm just going to throw this out there. Don't chance it, and if you're going for sperm, just get HIV-free sperm.
Right? Stargazer asked why the hell people are trying to spread AIDS so bad. You'll notice that they're destigmatizing it to the point where it's not even a crime to knowingly give it to someone. And now they're doing this shit.
It's still a crime, Jack. It's just a misdemeanor.
Yeah, but you really think they're going to prosecute that? It's fucking sick. But I think it's honestly just a way to get people hooked on medications so they can control you easier. Because a lot of those medications are very expensive, and they can determine whether or not you can have your meds, so you'll vote for them. That's a conspiracy theory, but hey, what do you want?
No, Red Castro, this is not an Onion article. You know what it really is, Jack? It's a gay push, and which is really sad because not all gay people have AIDS, you sick fucks. They're trying to make sure they all get it.
Yeah.
They did this with herpes not long ago.
Yeah, that's gross too.
Lacey Green even made a video. Do you remember that?
Yeah, she's a grossy.
That's the one that's one of the first videos I ever saw of hers, and it's the one that made me go, wait, she's a sex expert? Because in it, she tells us that she once couldn't tell the difference between a ingrown hair and whether or not she had herpes.
Yeah, that's like that episode of The Office when Michael thought he had herpes because he had like a pimple on his groin area.
Yeah, if you can't tell the difference between herpes and a ingrown hair, you need to keep your genitals away from me.
Yeah,
because I don't know what you got. Yeah, they've been trying to do this, and the councilman or state senator, whatever the fuck he is, that guy in California, who pushed the bill to decriminalize knowingly giving somebody AIDS. Yeah, he's a gay guy. I don't know if he's positive or not, but I don't think people think as much about AIDS as people with AIDS think they do.
Yeah.
As long as you're not giving it to me, I have no problem with you.
Yeah, you might have to be a little more cautious around somebody if they have AIDS because, you get a cut on the finger. You got to be a little more, just general bloodborne pathogen stuff. But most people don't think about it.
And there is also the problem, and this is actually a sad thing they did. It is a straight man has a very hard time getting AIDS. That's just fact. You have a very low chance of getting AIDS as a straight guy. Women have a little harder chance, and gay men have the highest chance. And it's because of the way they have sex. When you have anal sex, you tend to cause tears. And then you introduce sperm into it, and now you have body fluids going into open cuts. It makes it very easy to spread. That's why it spreads so quickly through the gay community. And there was actually a point, my friend, he called up the CDC and he told him he was worried he had AIDS. And they told him as a straight man, he pretty much has no chance of having AIDS. He's only had sex with his wife. He's no AIDS, not a needle user, and only sex with the wife. So even if your wife had AIDS, it'd be very hard for you to catch it from her. But now they're trying to do this thing where, the viral load is so low, it's okay to have sex with people with AIDS. You do it. I'm not.
Yeah. Weren't they trying to destigmatize people so that people with HIV could give blood again?
Yes.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's super dangerous.
Yeah, because all it takes is one fuck up, and suddenly you just gave AIDS to a bunch of people. Good job.
Yeah. Well, that's happened a few times too, where they have accidentally given blood transfusions that were infected, not knowing that it was infected. That's terrifying.
Yep. And you know what? I'm happy that they've found ways to keep people with AIDS from dying, because it used to be, depending on your life. I mean, finding out you had HIV, you could be dead in 2 years.
Oh yeah, it's a death sentence back in the 90s, especially up until they got even with the drug cocktails and stuff like that, because it was really easy to die. Now they've got way better drugs, but I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea to say, hey, let's take some blood.
Look, you can live. Let me ask you this, Jack. They tell you that a woman moderately attractive has a really bad cold, but she'll tongue kiss you if you want. Are you gonna go do it?
Probably not.
Yeah, me neither. I'm like, you know what? Call me when you're feeling better.
Yeah, I don't like being sick. It's gross.
Me neither. Who does? What the fuck is wrong with these people?
It's like those degenerate weirdos that want to cut their limbs off because they don't like having all their parts or whatever. I think it's a mental health issue.
Well, I think they're really trying to push this on everybody. And you know, my solution to AIDS was, Jack, anybody tested who found out that they had AIDS was quarantined. And like, you can't do that. I'm like, it'd stop it. You get all the people who have it out of society, it's not going to spread. You know why? Because it's not in society anymore.
Yeah, we used to do that with entire cities. If a cholera outbreak happened, they'd quarantine. New York was quarantined several times for cholera and yellow fever because they didn't know how it was spread. And then if there's no treatments, you don't want it to spread.
I wonder about the kind of women who would go to positive sperm.
Probably the type of women you should worry about.
I bet they have blue hair and nose rings.
Probably. Yeah, leper colonies. That's a good point too, Faithless. Yeah.
If your pitch for me to have sex with you is my viral load is really low, no.
That's not a sexy way to phrase anything, for one.
Look, if I'm out on a date with a chick, and granted, I don't date anymore because my wife doesn't like that.
She frowns on it, huh?
Yeah, she looks at it poorly. If I'm out on a first date with a chick and I see her even look like she might scratch her crotch, I ain't doing it. Like,
no, I don't want no crotch critters.
And it could just be dry skin for all I know, but I'm not. Who takes that kind of chance with their dick?
Well,
you only get one.
The blood flows south. You don't think straight, I guess. But yeah, I understand that. There are people that take some risky behaviors. That's up to them, but it's not for me. I would rather be a little more cautious and be alive.
You know what? Here's the thing, and I'm with you on that. And I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is them pushing the idea that you should be. That there's something wrong with you if you don't want to have sex with somebody with AIDS. I don't want to take that chance with my dick, and you shouldn't be pushing that. That is actually worse than the whole fat thing. You're telling people to take a chance with a deadly disease. You know what? Yeah, they've cured it as best they can right now, so it's still livable. But how would you like to be the one person that it doesn't work for?
Right? I don't run with scissors either. There's some things you do that are just stupid. And you have to try and mitigate that if you want to survive. This is dumb. And they're doing
dangerous.
It's insanely dangerous. They're doing it for all the wrong reasons.
It is virtue signaling with health.
Yeah, and that's bonkers, man.
Look, at least with herpes, you just get an itch and some sores. And it'll clear up after. How long does herpes last? I don't have it.
I don't either. I don't know.
Somebody who has it or knows more about it. I know you don't have sores the whole time, right? But at least that's not deadly. You know? It's
Yeah.
Would I fuck a porn star? Porn stars are actually tested quite regularly, depending on where they live. And now, if you're talking about some amateur porn star, probably not. But most of your big name ones, they are probably some of the most tested people on the planet.
Yeah, they're probably safer than some chick you'd pick up at a bar.
Yeah, cheaper than that whore you banged in the bar bathroom.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd probably bang a porn star. Depends on which one and if she's got her paperwork up to date.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because they did have a problem. They had 2 porn stars who tested positive like a year or 2 ago, and it became a little scandal because they test constantly for that shit. Which is good for them. That's another reason to make prostitution legal.
I would have a steel belted condom on though.
Oh sure, yeah.
Realistically, that would probably never come up, and I probably wouldn't because I'd be like, "You're a whore," because most porn stars I've seen are pretty left leaning, and I would defend them within 5 minutes. So that situation probably would never happen.
But think of how great it would be to actually be grabbing this bitch by the hair and going, "You're a fucking dirty whore," and she's like, "I know I am."
No, I'd probably just be like, there are 2 genders.
Oh yeah, do that while you're on the back and see how long you can ride. Like the old joke, call her sister's name.
Yeah, exactly. And say all sorts of things like we should tax the porn industry. Just be an asshole.
I'm enjoying the conversation. I'd love to go on, but we're at 2.5 hours, and I have all kinds of children coming to my house tomorrow. So I'm going to end with this, Jack. I want to tell you a story I heard.
Uh-oh.
There's this train conductor, and he causes a crash and kills a guy. He ends up with life in prison. They actually give him the death penalty because it was that bad of an incident. They ask him what he wants for his last meal, and he says a banana. So he has a banana, and they put him in the electric chair. He doesn't die. And state law says, well, if you don't die after you've been through the electric chair, you get to go free. So he goes free. And he goes back to being an engineer, and he's driving another train. Same thing happens. Kills another guy. Ends up with a death penalty again. Ask him what he wants for his last meal. He says 2 bananas. He says 2 bananas. Put him in the electric chair. Fry him. Nothing happens. He gets to go free again. 3rd time, he kills a man. Gets the death penalty a 3rd time. They ask him what he wants for his last meal. He says bananas. They go, we're not giving you bananas again. It's causing something to go wrong with the electric chairs. It's not the bananas. I'm just a bad conductor.
Dun, dun,
My daughter told me that story tonight. I laughed my ass off at that. I fucking love stories like that. I'm just a bad conductor. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much for the donations. I love them. What you guys do for me, I hope I repay with the garbage we talk here every night. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're getting your money's worth. Jack, is there anything you'd like to shill tonight?
I'll throw a link to my latest video in there. And thanks for the donations, you guys. It's really, really helpful.
Tonight, we will be on my channel for Lords of the Night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know if I'll do a game stream. I wanted to do one tonight, and instead I went and laid down, and that didn't work out, so I'm here. With everything going on this week with Thanksgiving, I don't know if I will or not, guys. So no promises on that. But definitely Lords of the Night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Jack, thanks for hanging out. Everybody, have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Everybody have